Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Paranormal Guyz. We are joined tonight by some special guests. So we got a bunch of good things coming up. It's going to be a good show tonight. We have Chris. He is here to tell us about his experiences with poltergeists. And then after that, I have a special surprise. I have a guest that, I'm going to have to let her explain it. But basically, she can see relatives or loved ones in your photos if you send them to her. She's going to have to explain it because I don't understand it. So in the meantime, let's see who we have hiding backstage here. We have Dina. We have Brenda. And we got some other people back there. Oh, there's the B Dizzle. We got the B Dizzle.
Dizzle.
Yeah. How are you?
Made the cut.
You made the cut. Here, that's the wrong button. I don't like that button. So, well, good. How are you?
I'm good. I just got off an hour and a half podcast, so I knocked down some supper.
Alrighty,
Are you all right?
I was starving.
Well, you're a growing boy, so.
Yep. Going out.
All right. Well, anybody? Yeah, well, me too. Anybody else got anything going on, new, exciting, unusual? Otherwise, I'm going to bring out Chris and let him tell us about his
bring him out
stuff. All right. We'll see.
Yeah.
Are you scared, Dina?
I may not can stay very late tonight, so I want to hear all I can.
All right. Cool. Chris, welcome to the Paranormal Guyz.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
So, Chris, we'll probably interrupt you with a million questions during the process, but tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh, and let me get this out of the way here. I got to put the number up here. We are live tonight on Guyz Radio, so you can go to live365.com. The station is Guyz Radio, YERGZ, and you can actually call us tonight on the toll-free number if you have a question for Chris, our next guest, or any of us. So, all right. I'm sorry, Chris. I had to do that.
Yeah.
I forgot about it a minute ago.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It's a nice thing. Back when I was in college, there were moments when I didn't think I'd be around. So to be here and to be speaking about what happened is a nice thing, And I suppose, like many of your listeners and viewers, my parents tried to keep me clear of some of this stuff. You learn your math and your science and your English, and the ghost stuff seemed a little out there, and I wasn't really part of that. But when I went to college, things changed for me. Growing up, there was Casper the Friendly Ghost over here, la 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 la, and then there was Jesus over here, and then nothing was between that. And I discovered when I was in college that that's probably not the case. And my experience began actually on January 30th, 1985, when my friend Jeff told me that these two people were coming to the college. They were demonologists. Their names were Ed and Lorraine Warren. Mm-hmm. And so my friend said, let's go see them talk. And I said, well, I don't want to see them talk. That's ghost stuff. And he's, well, it's free. I said, all right, I'll go. Free is free. And I like that as a college student. And we went to hear them speak. And it was interesting. Lorraine was very elegant. She had her back was straight. Her hair was up, a nice gown. And one thing about her I can tell you is that not knowing anything about her before that was that she seemed to believe what she said. In other words, when she spoke to you, you knew what she was saying she believed. And that's helpful when you're seeing a presentation. And Ed was just very boisterous, and he would be the MC basically and run us through a slide of a woman in a shadow in a castle and a slide of a car and a person. And then they had these things called EVPs, and they would play these sounds over the broadcast system in this auditorium. And they were weird. The sounds are very odd. I didn't know what they were. Could have been like a goat for all I knew, but they did sound kind of strange sounds. And so I went in very skeptical as to what was happening here. I had to admit, just like, Stranger Things, like Star Trek, those shows like that, even though it was fictional in my mind, it was entertaining. It was very interesting what they're saying. And the one thing that bothered me, though, is Lorraine kept saying the same thing that I thought was ridiculous. She said that like attracts like. And I knew that with science, with magnets, that like sides repel. I didn't understand what she was talking about. It was more of a spiritual thing, a personality thing. Well, anyway, after they gave their presentation, Ed said, come up and meet Lorraine Warren. And they were famous for the Amityville Horror back then and things like that. And so we got to go online and wait and go on the stage and meet Lorraine. At that time, she was, I think, less than 40, actually. And in the event, I got on the stage platform, and She looked at me and she said, I won't shake your hand. I thought maybe someone behind me was making a scene or something, but it was me. And she said to me, she goes, no, I won't take your hand. I don't know my future. What's that about? And then Ed put his hands on me and put you off the stage. And my poor friend Jeff, who had like 10 questions written down to ask them, he ran down, what happened? I don't know what happened. And I was really annoyed by that, you know. And so afterwards, Ed and Lorraine are going to go on this big ghost hunt across the campus and explore, be there. And Jeff's like, we should go on that. I'm not going to go on that. They're mean to me. And so I started going to go back to my room in Erie Hall, Lake Erie. And Jeff asked me some questions. Like, well, why do you think she did that? I don't know. What about your family history? Or I don't really know. And as far as I thought, that was the end of everything. But 11 days later, in my college dorm, I was working on a paper, 20-page paper, and I heard somebody call my name, a whisper like, Chris. And I said, door's open, come on in. Typing away. Again, Chris. So I got up and I checked, and there was no one there. So I thought, well, it must be one of my friends playing a joke, a prank on me. So I got headphones, put them on. What's that CD? Sammy Hagar, VOA. I can't drive 50. If I'm playing this song.
That song.
If I can't hear them, they can't bother me. But in the headphones, over the music, I heard again, Chris. Whoa. Ground. That's how things began for me. The following night, my roommate Paul and I saw this thing in the room looking at us, looked like a human figure, and it was kind of rising out of the stereo. And I remember throwing things at it. So it was a really scary, weird, unexpected thing. And a lot of people look for the paranormal, and they'll go in these old buildings and graveyards and pay money with their K2 meters and things. I had no interest, and basically the paranormal found me.
Wow. We had a question real quick. I don't want our guests to think, or our chat to think we forgot them. They ask isn't a poltergeist your own spirit that is being negative?
Well, at the time, I didn't know what that word meant. Now that I've been, speaking on this for about 20 years now, I can tell you that I know what that means. I didn't think it was a poltergeist at no point. In fact, the entire time, I thought it was some unrested spirit. I didn't think it was me or from me. Some of the people in the building thought maybe it could have been that, because at the time there was a movie called Firestarter. It was very popular then. And so I think that kind of would give them a lens to look and see it that way. But I didn't think that was the case. It seemed to me this thing is more like trying to possess me, more like trying to view and to control. And there were some really scary moments. I mean, I remember one night I was sleeping in the bed at college, and I remember feeling these cold fingers on my foot, my bare foot. I'm like, whoa, and that was uncool. And one evening I woke up and the thing was looking at me right here, and my face was like almost frozen and my breath coming out of my mouth. That was horrible. I ran out of the room screaming and yelling. And there were nights too when the thing just wouldn't leave us alone. The clocks would flash. We'd have these big breezes and books would fly around. The closet door would open up by itself. Freezing temperatures, shadows across the walls. It was not. I mean, it sounds like a dream now. Like, this is what an incredible moment. But at the time, I was thinking to myself, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how fast you are, you can run, how strong you are. If you can't understand your environment, you can't survive in it. And I didn't know if I was crazy. So I asked my friend if he could maybe jot down what I'm telling him to go to a therapist, a psychiatrist. Maybe they can give me some medication. I won't see this thing anymore. And so my friend began to take these notes day after day for months of what was going on, trying to look for patterns or whatever we had, And the scariest thing to me was an odd thing when my roommate Paul saw it, because when he saw it independently, then I thought, wait a second, I can't go to a therapist and get some treatment. It's in the environment. And that's actually worse, because it's only me. I can control my feelings. But if there's some dead thing in the room, now what do I do?
Wow. As Jill says, she had a similar experience. Well, she had an experience. She said she would have run too. She had a spirit trying to use her to find the murderer. It's actually fascinating. I've got a guy that's going to be coming on that wrote a book about a story similar to that. Go ahead. I don't want
to spoil the story, but why did Lorraine not want to shake your hand?
Yeah,
maybe get into that.
I didn't know for about almost 30 years. They're very well known. They're respected, and I wanted to like
pretty
them.
Big deal.
It was kind of rude for a college kid to start up the stage. And so I met their daughter about 6 years ago at an event, and she walked up to me, her name is Judy. And she goes, oh my gosh, Chris, you're the ghost boy, right? I'm like, yeah, my mom loved you. I'm like, yeah, I don't think same Chris. Tell me what happened with your mom and dad when I was 19 years old. And she remembered that because at the time she wouldn't go with them and hear these things that bothered her. She would stay in the car and do crossword puzzles or things or word search. She says the paranormal kind of made her feel uncomfortable, and so she'd go with them to the location and not go for the event. And she told me that her mom came out of the college and said she was this young kid there, and his aura was like just so big. And what happened was she couldn't read people. She couldn't do what she wanted to do. And so rather than Ed having them, they're getting paid to do this, have this thing fall apart, get with the stage, and then come back to it. But I left, so I never realized that I thought it was personal. It wasn't. And so even though I knew it was a bad thing, it wasn't. And so years later, I get to actually make up and say hello. And this is actually from Ed Warren's library. He got this in Spain. It's a bookend, So It's nice to have closure on that where, when you're a kid, you think you know everything. Isn't that the case? And you're invincible.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you realize I probably more than I thought I did. So I'm very proud to say that, it wasn't such a bad thing. And it taught me to listen more and speak less.
That would be devastating.
It, right?
Well, they're icons, right? I mean, they're icons.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
Push you off the stage.
yeah.
Yeah. That's so
My friend had so many
odd.
questions written out. Okay, question 1, 2, 3, and he wanted to ask at least 1 or 2 of them. And when I got pushed off the stage, he came after me. What happened? He never had a chance ever to ask his questions. I feel bad about that. And this is us back in the day. So this is Jeff and I back in the day. See, so that's
That's cool. That's a good picture.
yeah, right, young kids. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So did Jeff or did other people see this activity too?
At first, it was just me, and then my roommate Paul. Paul would leave. Paul eventually fled the campus. He left because we had one incident where this ghost, whatever this thing was at the time, began to pull my pillow out from under my head, and we could see the pillow in the air suspended. And I'd pull back at the pillow, and I remember wrapping my feet around the mattress end, almost like a crunch. I'm like, let go of my pillow. Let go of my goddamn pillow. And he looked over and said, no one should ever have to see this. And that was it. He said, things are too crazy around you right now. I can't stay here. And he left. And so I was by myself in that room. And Jeff, who lived next door, another room down the hall, he moved in because I think, 1, he was fearful something would happen to me. And number 2, I think he was curious about what was going on. He was, as a kid, he watched In Search Of, he watched That's Incredible, those old shows you had. And he wanted something to be there as a kid, with the UFOs or Bigfoots, and then he got older, thought nothing's real. It's just there is nothing like that. And so when I came right in the hallway going, "Oh my God, help! I'm gonna die," got his attention. And I think he was a chance to see for himself, were there really things out there? And so I'm very lucky that Jeff was there. But even when people were with you, things got really bad. We had to get a priest to come in and do a blessing on the room, and that happened. We had a professor of psychology at the college get involved with contacting the EVPs and the voices. We had people get attacked, bleeding. We had a suicide. I mean, this went on for months, and it was horrific. So I always tell people, because I had an uncle who fought in Vietnam, my grandpa was in World War II, etc., that there's nothing wrong with being patriotic or strong or brave or a good person. But when you wish to go into danger, when you wish to go into conflict, be careful, because that's not a movie. And all of a sudden you're in this war zone and you don't know where the bomb is, where the people are, if you're going to go home to your family again. And so for me, I didn't know what was going to happen if I would live. And I wanted to go home, but I was the first person to really go to college to get out of that cycle of working in mixing paint in a factory or, carrying boxes. And my grandparents said, make something yourself, just go above, educate yourself. And so I felt bad. My uncle gets shot in Vietnam and he's okay. I'm hearing voices. I got to go home. So I was torn between getting myself the hell out of that place like I wanted to, and my family's respect for me and expectations of me. So I stayed, and I was also at that time a marathon runner. I was a nationally ranked runner, even though I was very young. And in a marathon, it's a mile at a time. So I think living day by day, make sure you eat your food, get sleep at night, helps you to not give up. But there were some times where I almost did, and from some tough moments.
Now, does this still happen today?
Oh, nothing like that. Was just that was so unique and so bizarre. And at the time, we all knew, all of us, myself and Linda and Beth and Judy and Ed, there was like 12 of us going through this, and we all knew something really weird and unusual was happening. I was just the epicenter of that. That's why I became the Ghost Boy. I hated that name. But I still see things and hear things, but nothing like that. And I think because I avoided, if you're in high school and you have a relationship, you think you're in love. Remember that first love you have, like, oh, I can't live without her or him, right? Oh, then you break up, I can't live, no one understands me, right? But you survive. But if the first breakup is bad and they smear your name, they take your money, they destroy you, you might think, you know what? I'm done dating for a while. I'm gonna, quit that, just do something else. And so I think I was traumatized by what happened. Now, there are several times I thought I was going to die, and there were times that we tried to help people we couldn't, and they take their own lives, and people were held down and cut up, and just it was really,
Wow.
really, really brutal, And this happened in '85. I didn't speak about it publicly until 2011. It took me decades to share it in a way that I felt was actually not just negative. It's, well, attack. Who wants to hear that? And then I realized one day I survived it. So, if you survive cancer, you survive divorce, you survive bankruptcy, drug addiction, that's good. And rather than being ashamed of what happened to you, let's celebrate that you survived those moments. And so once I realized I could share it in that vein, I began then to tell people. I had people I played softball with every weekend for 20 years who loved ghosts. They never knew who I was. But you're the ghost. When I got into sci-fi, like, dude, no way, I'm pissed at you. I like these things. You're telling me because I really tried to separate that from my family, because at the time I thought it was unsafe, and I didn't want anyone else to be hurt by what I went through. And that might be illogical, but that's how I felt.
Now, you said it started at the school.
Yes, in my dorm room.
I wonder if there was actually anything anybody needed to just do to that school to get rid of it, because it sounds like that's where it was and stayed.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point for that, because, well, we'll see nowadays, of course, we have the internet, a lot of ghost hunting investigation groups. We have TV shows, resources everywhere. We have technology. Back then, you had a couple TV shows and The Shining. There's nothing really to look at and nowhere to go. So we would find books by Colin Wilson, things like that, to see if we could understand that, or we just tried to learn whatever we could learn about it. But at the time, the theory was, because this thing always seemed to have a tilted head, as though it had been hung from a tree or committed suicide. And so the theory at the time was that maybe some kid under pressure couldn't take the pressure, or something happened and he hung himself, and maybe that was there he killed himself in, and lucky me happened to walk in there and hey, surprise, tagged, you're it. And so that was the prevailing theory. But even when the priest came, Father Charlie Manning, we didn't know what to do. In the movies, they get a priest for every time. It's like, in the name of all, that's like big scene, demon, and blood is flying around and fire, So we followed what the movies did, and we went to get a priest. And Father Charlie Manning came to the room, and he did what's called a blessing, and he had the holy water, put the oil on my head, take the cross. He said these prayers I never heard of before, and it was really interesting. So that blessing, supposedly, he told the spirit to move on someplace else to find rest. And the priest said, I'm there for you and for this thing. But the priest said, I can't do this openly. It's a public building. I can't do a religious ceremony on public grounds without permission. So he came disguised as a repairman for stereos. So then they came into his jacket up and he was the priest. I was like, that was so cool.
That is cool.
It's such an 80s story.
It is.
Thing. He was a smart man, and that was the coolest thing. And then, believe it or not, I don't know why this makes sense, because it's not scientific, but he did this blessing, and for days, nothing happened. It was wonderful. No breezes, no voices, no shadows. Like, what was it? The oil, his prayer, whatever he did, it seemed to have worked. I'm like, that's incredible. I couldn't do it. I kept saying, go away. And then 4 days later, I went for a run in the countryside, and I came back, and I was taking my shower in the little bathroom across from my room. And I remember seeing across the ceiling a shadow. What's that? And it looked like the ghost. I'm like, no, that can't be. The priest raised his cross up. That can't be the ghost. But just in case, I looked outside, and the bathroom, and it was empty. So I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get out of here right now, because he wants to be in the shower when things happen, right? Because you got no weapons, no clothes, no nothing. So I turn the water off and get out of there and call the priest back. So I turned the water off, and wham! I feel like I'm stabbed in the back. I'm lifted off the ground. I hit my face against the side of the shower. The cleanser I used. My teeth are broken out. But listen, I'm not 5. So I'm being attacked. What do I do? I'm going to fight. So I turn around. I swing as hard as I can punch. Everything I got, boom! I tore the shower curtain off the railing. Nothing. And who are you? What are you? Show yourself, you coward! You coward! Nothing. I looked in the mirror above the sink where you can brush your teeth and shave, and I saw these 3 scratches from here down to almost my butt. And I thought, what the hell's
Oh,
that?
wow.
And they're bleeding. I said, you know what? I can't do this. I mean, how do I survive this? And I remember, I don't know, because of the cold or the pain or the shock, I fell on my knees and then fell boom on the face floor. And think about that. A boy's bathroom floor at college. There's probably no
Yeah.
worse place to fall than
Right.
that. I didn't give a damn because I thought I was dying. And I laid on the floor. I couldn't move. I thought, my poor mother. My mother gave up college to have me. She gave everything to have me. Read books to me, fed me, clothed me. My mom did everything. And here I am, what? I'm dying at 19 on the floor, cut up. So I told myself, don't make a face. Have a calm face. When the casket is there, she won't see my pain. That's all I thought was my poor mom.
Aw.
You know, and I remember I saw on my wrist a bead of water from when I was in the shower, like a pear shape. And in that drop of water, I saw the bathroom, but it was inverted. I thought, whoa, refraction. Water refracts light. And then it fell. That's gravity. And then the water went down by my face, and it darkened the grout to the tile. It's funny, I remember things in the crisis, you know? And I thought, well, moisture. So I knew science worked. I wasn't crazy, right? There was refraction, there's gravity, there was moisture, but I can't live this way. And then luckily, about a minute or two later, having heard me scream, Jeff came running in, and Beth they found me, they put a towel around me and said, go to the hospital, you're bleeding all over the place. And I wouldn't go to the hospital because I said, if I go, they'll think I'm self-harming, they'll medicate me and think we'll find me. And so they had this intervention to get me to the hospital. I thought, oh my gosh, actually it's on TV, intervention, they think I'm crazy. But I knew I wasn't. And so they're saying, where they go, I'll fight you. I'm like, what am I saying? It was so hard to prove my reality to them. There was no middle ground, you know? And so finally we had this deal where I won't go to the hospital, but you have to take care of me. So we got peroxide, cotton swabs, and bandages. And so for 47 minutes, I watched the clock go. It was just that, peroxide, bandage. My whole back was bandaged up, and I couldn't wear a shirt for several days. And Jeff said to me before the bandages, this is a great picture. I want a picture of this because this is crazy. I said, Jeff, don't take it. I'm like, you understand? He goes, I said, no. If you're my friend, you won't take it because I don't want to be the ghost boy. I wanted to be Chris. I wanted to be valued for who I was, not what this thing was. And my friend said, all right, I won't take it. That's why I knew I had a good friend. That's why I knew Jeff was my friend first. And I wish I had the picture now, but that's the way it goes. But we had pictures of the ghost in the room, the skeleton. We had pictures of my shirt blowing back. So just, it's amazing how sometimes you plan your life really well. And you do what you want to do to do it. And then life just happens. And you got a choice. You can accept it and adapt or not survive.
So was it always violent or?
No, it got violent. Well, it was always creepy. In the shower, look about the closet. It was just really weird. It's just odd. And just, you know, just for purpose of explanation, that was time when people streaked. I would speak all the time. Don't streaking. I didn't care about being naked. But when that thing looked at me, it was different. It was just, it's like you're on some train or some bus and you feel like someone's looking at you. You turn around, they are. It's like, ooh. It didn't feel right. Like it almost wanted to like get me or control me. So I don't like that, you know. So it didn't get violent to the blessing. Once the blessing happened and he was out of my room, he got violent and he went to Beth's room and knocked her out. She fell down on the ground. He went to Lynn's room and pulled her in the bed. And so he brought me to him. So look, I can't get in your room. What did he do? He texted my friends, Chris, help us. I go right to him again. At every step, by the way, this thing was outsmarting us. I mean, there was no question in my mind. I was bringing a knife to a gunfight. But these are my friends. And they needed me, and I was brought up, you know, to help people. My mom always said, be a good person. That was my goal in life. And so a good person doesn't ignore their friends.
Did anybody ever investigate that place or do any research on it to find out if anybody died there that might have just been hell on wheels?
Oh yeah, and that's the actual smart reaction, right? That's what people should do. Like myself, at the time, I thought I was dying, and I'm a teenager, and I know what's going on. So my friend Jeff, and then others over the years, Tim Shaw, Alan Lewis, folks like that, they began to research and look at these things and discover what the connections were, and Jeff as well. And it turns out that you know, I called this ghost Tommy. Jeff had said to me, "What's a name?" I just picked the name out of the hat, Tommy. I didn't know what it was, right? And it turned out that we found out 27 years later that there was a young soldier with the Pennsylvania Regiment named Tommy Boyd, who was actually killed in a tree, by his intestines, things like that, just horribly mutilated. And that I would run by that tree all the time in cross country practice. I didn't know this again until 27 years later. See people say, I'm going in a room, I'll tell you who's there, what they want, what religion they are, what they believe. It's not that easy, because even in real life we fight, right? In real life, we fight with our boyfriends or girlfriends. We fight about politics and sports. I mean, I wish it was easier. So with the veil like that, it's a little harder to hear, a little harder to understand. And so I caution people, don't jump to conclusions, put it on Facebook and embarrass yourself. Just research, because I was with this thing every day for months. It took 27 years to figure out what was going on. And here's the weird part. My friend Jeff, my mother, Peasant University, did some research, and it turns out that 2 soldiers who found his body a couple of days later, their names were Bernard and Adam Hubley. My mom's maiden name was Hubley. They were my ancestors
wow.
in generations, so they buried his body. So maybe he noticed that, maybe he knew that, maybe it's coincidence. Maybe having Lorraine and Ed Warren talk to me opened up that possibility in my head I could hear these things. Maybe it's all chance, but when I found out that my relatives were there and found this person's body, that was almost as freaky as the event itself.
That is very strange.
It is. It's and when the sci-fi show was filmed in 2012, we didn't know this. So it ends by saying, who was that? And in 2009, so now with the new Netflix show coming out, the miniseries, they're going to go into that a little bit.
What's the Netflix show called?
Yeah, I signed an NDA, but I keep breaking it.
Well,
I'm terrible at that. But listen, I'm not going to. They do an NDA so people don't steal the idea. They don't steal me away.
I thought it might have been in the trailer or something.
I signed my contract. I'll honor that contract, and I love what they're doing. They did Vatican Girl, Don't Fuck with Cats. Top 10 things. So I'm honored. They're doing a multi episode, 3 or 4 episodes, miniseries called Erie Hall. And Erie Hall is the name of the college dorm, but it's Lake Erie. Of course, they'll probably put an extra E on there for Erie Hall.
Yeah.
So I'm very honored. It's been 3 years in the process. It's been a long time, but it's going to be in 32 different languages. It's going to be, an amazing thing. So I'm very honored. I don't seek publicity. I don't have Instagram. I don't have anything, TikTok, but it's very nice when people reach out by word of mouth and say, hey, come talk with us. And when I was approached about this, I had one concern. In my life, I might know 2,000 people and then who I am. When it goes on this Netflix thing, it'll be millions and millions. So whatever Netflix says I am, I become. So I'd be very careful about how it's portrayed, because this is not an investigation. This is my life and my experience. So, but they've been really good in trying to work with myself and Jeff and Linda and Father Charlie the priest and my father and Craig. So you're going to see it's a documentary, not like a spooky movie. It's an actual documentary about what this was and how it occurred. So I'm really honored. I am, and what a great blessing that is to have people know what we went through and maybe learn something positive from it.
Yeah.
What's School Spirits on now? Is it on the streaming show?
School Spirits, you can find it on Paramount Plus, YouTube Plus, and Amazon Prime Video.
I have that. I'm gonna have to fire it.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of guests on there on those.
I've finished School Spirits, I think.
Yeah, it was 6 episodes, one each, and it was done by Mark Burnett, who did the Survivor series.
Yeah.
And what's funny about that is that Mark Burnett did an interview speaking about how much he loved me, how cool I was. I never met him.
But my goodness.
Chris is wonderful. I'm like,
that's good. That Chris DiCesare, that motorboating son of a bitch.
Nice things. I'm okay with that.
That's good.
You old sailor, you.
Right. Exactly.
That's cool. I was trying to find that episode that Cara Phillip was on, Ghost Hunters. I can't find it anywhere.
Oh.
So maybe I can find Chris's episode of School Spirits.
School Spirits Dorm Room Nightmare. Type that into Google, it'll come right up on all different sites.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not the same thing I watched.
It's not on Pornhub, so
Dina was watching a dirty movie.
That's
Shut
extra.
up, I was not. I was thinking of oh dang.
I'm thinking of Mean Girls.
No, it's not Mean Girls. It's a
Mean Ghosts.
It's like a 6-part thing where this girl gets murdered in the basement, and does that sound familiar?
Well, I didn't get murdered. I'm not a girl, but so far, maybe. I don't know.
You're close. You're close, Stephen.
You ever seen the real life documentary of the haunting in Connecticut? It used to come on TLC. That scared the shit out of me.
I don't watch anything like that.
It is scary.
God, the real documentary, not the movie.
Yeah.
But with that little dude with the hamster eyes, my God. I watched that one night at 1 a.m. I could not do anything. We were hungry. We couldn't leave the house.
Oh, I can't go.
We couldn't leave the room.
Bobby, you shouldn't be watching any of that, man. I bring videos on. You think they're real people. You should be
That was a
not
different
watching
scenario.
any of that.
That was a different scenario we can't talk about. That is not relevant to real life.
I think you're too sensitive, Bobby.
We can't discuss that in public forum.
Well, Chris, did this ever go away, or obviously it's went away, but is it still to school, or?
Well, when I saw that my friends were being subjected to this, and when one of our classmates eventually would kill himself, one of the things that you do is you say, "What do I do now?" And going back to what my mom said to me about being a good person, I felt like, well, I'm the ghost boy. They keep calling me that. What can I do? And so eventually, after months, I got brave. My friend Craig said, "Listen, go in and face that thing." I'm like, "Oh, all right." And so
Oh boy.
I just went in that room and I lit a candle and I just said, I'm going to break the priest's blessing. I know you can hear me. You're always following me anyway. So I will talk to you one time and that's it. And I had my doubts, but I did that because I think it's a brave thing to do. And then I saw the shadow on the wall. It's back in the room again. It went across this way and then in front. I'm like, oh, and I kept my hips turned to the door because I learned from soccer that your hips come to your direction. So I just in case I had to run because the thing had attacked me 2 months before that. I was ready. And then there it was right in front of me. And it didn't smell, no smell of death. It was just freezing cold. I could see him just like I could see you, except by his knees faded out. It was funny because in the old days they had like the ghost was a point at the bottom, like a point.
Right.
I wonder if because you can always see the bottom for some other reason. I remember thinking that's really weird. And
Yeah.
I said, why? Why are you doing this? What's happening? And he said, made a mistake, so much pain. And so I remember Jeff said to me, ask questions that are close-ended that you can find out maybe what it is, rather than what do you think. And so I asked, where are you from? And where are you from? And it was very interesting because who knew what he was going to say, but he said Danville. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Okay. There's a place called Dansville with an S down the road. And so then I said, listen, you want my help? I'll give it to you. You've been following me around. You can't stay here. People are getting hurt. It's not working. So all I can do is tell you this. Whatever you did can be forgiven, and you're still loved. You need to find rest. And I said, I'm going to count to 10. And when I get down to 10, you can't be here. And I said, I just counted 1001, 1002, and my eyes closed. I opened my eyes, and I didn't see it. And then a few days went by, and people said, hey, it's nice. There's no more sounds. And I explained to them what I had done. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. You helped that ghost. And oddly enough, that Thomas Boyd was from Danville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
That we found out that at 27 years later as well. So little things like that help us piece together things objectively rather than saying it must be this. Where do the facts lead you? And sometimes it takes a while to put them together, like a big puzzle, And even now, when we were filming for the Netflix show, I got together with my friends after 35 years. And we talked about, well, why'd you say that? Oh, why were you thinking that? So we finally had a chance after all these decades to explain why we said what we said, because we were in a war zone to us. It was just horrifying. And it was amazing to see perspectives, how people can have different perspectives on the same exact thing. So last night, I think the Diamondbacks beat the Phillies, right, in the division National League playoffs. So if you're a Phillies fan, that game sucked. If you're a D-back fan, best game ever, right? So you're seeing the same exact thing, but your lens makes you view it in opposite ways. So no one's really wrong or right, just different. And so it was fascinating for me to see what their lens said about these things way back in the day. But one thing was in common we all had, we appreciate everyone being there for each other.
Yeah. That's really interesting that you spoke. And
yeah, I didn't want to.
I know I'm sure you didn't want to, but you really did help him. You helped his spirit, and hopefully. But to give him, it was an honor to give him to speak to you, actually, and to tell his side.
Yeah.
Which probably that's all he wanted was someone to listen and acknowledge.
I think you're absolutely right. And sometimes we just need somebody to say it's okay. And to
Yeah.
wait 200 years for that, it's gonna be a tough thing. And when I get the priest to take him away, it's like, no, but you see, I can really think now. He maybe wasn't actually evil. Maybe he wasn't bad. He was just so desperate. Like even your cat or dog will
Yeah.
get you if they're in pain. And so I think you make a really amazing point in that sometimes you just have to try and to listen. And I didn't know if he found rest. I hoped he did, but I've gone
Mhm.
back year after year after year. I just sneak in and I go, oh, it's the ghost boy. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
At home, like put the garbage out. But when I go there, it's like, woo, and I always ask, and no one has
Right.
seen anything. And they have like shrines. There's like a picture on the wall. That goes. It's weird. It's like, hey, Arnold with Helga Pataki with the shrine.
Right, right.
But it's just so weird. And back in the day, it was you don't
The
talk
bubble
about
gum.
these things. And now people want that room. They ask for it. And
Yeah.
it's just fascinating how society has changed over time about how they think about these things. But
Yeah.
that's a great point. Hopefully, he did find rest. I guess I'll know when it's my time.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of stories about
Amazing.
whenever people find articles on the ghosts that they
Mhm.
thought was evil. They find out they're not evil, and the mood changes.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. I mean, it sounds more exciting if it's a bad thing, like, "Ooh, I fought this bad
Yeah.
thing," but
Everything's a damn demon.
right. And even
Yes.
Yeah.
even people you and I know. I mean, people can do really bad things. They're not
Yeah.
demons, but we might portray them that way. But even the worst person has good parts to them, and every good people have bad parts about them. We have to be careful
Sure.
about just oversimplifying things because then you dehumanize them. And if you believe, like I believe, these spirits have a consciousness, they have a
Mhm.
personality and past, then if you want to do good, then do what's right and try to show some respect because maybe that's the way you get your answers rather than peeing on the graveyards and knocking tombstones over and cursing at them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best to say, hey, listen. In fact, I know a person who will go clean graveyards just for that purpose or take old
Mhm.
things and put paper on the walls and just be nice. And he seems to have good results with that because it seems as though they're saying, listen, okay, you help me, I'll help you. And I wish there were
Yeah.
more answers, but like I said, I learned just to appreciate being alive, just appreciate what we have. And like I'm here now talking to all of you when I
Mhm.
thought for sure I was dead in the ground, so this is a nice thing. I appreciate this moment.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Glenn.
I was just going to say, with what you were saying there, it's funny how goodness, just the act of kindness, can go across dimensions or whatever plane you want to call that.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of times that's what they want. They want to tell their story, and some of them don't know how to get it out. They want to be recognized. It's hard for them. Imagine, I mean, if you are somewhere and you see people that and you can't say anything to them, what makes you want to do? Get so angry you just want to throw something. So
Yeah.
Or knock them down and scratch their back.
yeah,
I wanted to hate that thing. I wanted to punish it. I wanted to really, I wanted to hate that so bad to what it did to my friends and me. But when I saw its eyes, and I'm sorry to use it, I still haven't kind of worked through all those feelings yet. When I
Right.
saw the eyes, I don't think I've ever seen eyes that sad before. And
Oh, wow.
I was angry at myself, like, no, be angry. I just couldn't be angry because the pain was legitimate. It was like, oh man. And so
yeah,
I had no choice but to invest in that. Oh man. And then
Yeah.
talk to it. So maybe I learned too, maybe I wish it never happened. If I could
Oh,
click
yeah.
my fingers, it would never happen, but it did. And so now my job is to try to understand it and hopefully share what I learned from that experience with others. So maybe they in that spot can avoid the mistakes that I had to go through.
Mhm.
absolutely.
Do
It
you
sounds
still?
like-
I'm sorry. Go, Bobby.
No, I was
go
going to
ahead.
say it sounds a lot like the way they EVP'd out the Waverly Hills ghost. It was thought to be a illegitimate pregnancy, and she hung herself. It turned out she was raped by the guard, and
Oh yeah.
they
Yeah.
changed the whole narrative.
Sure did.
Yeah.
I met that guy that found that out this weekend, by the way. I was enthralled.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You've had a big week.
I did.
He has.
I'm the ghost boy. I'm just kidding.
He's got the copyright. He'll sue you, man.
I would
Good
never.
luck. Good luck with that.
I would never.
He's
Right.
like, take it, take the moniker.
For the love of God.
The only thing we pass to Bobby is negative emails.
Yeah.
Bobby
Yeah.
Dizzle.com.
If
Cosmo Kramer, the ass man. Cosmo Kramer.
if you hang around in the paranormal world long enough, and I hate to say this, but something eventually, I don't want to use the words get you, but eventually you will have some type of interaction. I mean, it's the same with whether you're investigating Bigfoot, ghosts, UFOs. You will, at some point in time, your intent is out there in the universe and you will have an interaction whether you like it or not. It sounds like yours, it wasn't intentional. It sounds like maybe the family connection is what I'm thinking. But
yeah, I wouldn't ever want that to happen. You know, I just and to put things in perspective a little more, like I said, I was honored to go to college. I was on a partial scholarship for my running. So the last thing I want to do is be derailed from that, you know, and it was very important to me to try to do at least the best I could in those circumstances. And so yeah, I didn't want this. I know I wasn't like a person who would like pray all the time. I knew pray, but I prayed all the time to the haunting because I'm like, please just take this away. I don't want this. And people would tell me, oh well, my pastor said because you sinned in a past life, this is happening to you, or you know, you must be on drugs, or why you are attention. And then on the other hand, people would say, if you're God, who am I? You know, it's like there's no like in the middle. I was either Messiah or a demon, you know. And as a 9-year-old kid, that was a tough thing to have to navigate. I just wanted to be Chris, and I walked on the sidewalks, and people go, "That's the ghost." That's the
yeah,
that's terrible.
Sandwich shop on Main Street, and just listen to music and just watch out the window, people walking by, living their lives, saying, "I want that so bad." And it's so interesting that when I meet people now, they want to have my experience, and I don't know how to express to them how. I know it sounds cool, but it was really a difficult process. And I'm not trying to say they couldn't survive it, but why should you have to do that? And you know, so I'm very cautious as to what I say. I tell people every day, taste your food, slow it down, put some music on once a day, be a teenager, just rock out for a few minutes. Every day, reach out to somebody, call, text, email, you haven't talked to in 20 years, say hello. Just give yourself a chance to live your life now before you're on the other side, because let's solve things now before you need a psychic to do that. A lot of people go to their grave with animosity and anger, and I get it. We feel justified in not liking people do to us and what they said. But in the end, I don't want to be defined that way, and probably you don't either, you know. And so that thing suffered so much. And it's so weird that I learned the biggest event in my life happened as a teenager. Now, all my life is the shadow of that. I live in the shadow of those moments. But at least it's a nice shadow, you know. It's something cool.
Yeah.
True. So do you have any interactions now, or do you see or hear things, or?
Well, yeah, but I try not to invest in them. You know, it's like one of those things where you see someone who's panhandling on the corner of the road. You can buy them a meal, you can give them money, they might buy drugs, they can be nice to you, you can help them, they may attack you. You don't know. And so like most people, I just kind of drive by and look their way, and then give to charities, you know. For me, because of my experience, I don't want to interact, but there are many times when I first became known in 2012, 13, I did like 40 events a year. And because people bring me there and they pay me and I have a table and talk, I'd have to go on these investigations, you know, like at Lake George, places like that, and Fort Niagara, you know, Rolling Hills, all these places. And every time I went there, I'd hear these voices, and then John Zaff is saying to me, someone's saying, Chris, I'm like, yeah, I hear them, you know. And so it just got too much, because what would happen to me is they're not hurting me, but it brought me back to a place where I'd been hurt. And I couldn't keep doing that to myself over and over. And it's not like a weak thing, but it's an important thing to process through, you know, what you survive, or you don't recover from it, and you're set up to more things. So I really don't investigate. I see things all the time. I'll tell people, look, tell you what, you see that tree over there? Go over there. Oh yeah. I'm good. And I'm gonna step away. I think I'm like a retired ball player. You know, I feel like Willie Mays or something like that, where I had this cool thing. There's this Hall of Fame case. Now I can put some weight on, go to a dinner, speak at an event, and go home. You know, like, and let everybody else play me. I think I think that's a cool thing. And you know, and I've met so many wonderful people from this bad moment. You know, and hi Nancy. You know, I really have. So that's a blessing.
Hello, Nancy. Everybody, please remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, hit the notification button, thumbs up. We need it. And Chris's story is amazing. I am fascinated. I had some experiences as a child too, and I got passed them by when we moved out of the house. But as a child, and my family was very religious, it was always a demon. So I've come to learn later in life that that wasn't necessarily the truth, although I feel like they were probably negative energies. Yeah, I want no interaction with them. So I go out of my way, and that's, some people like Brenda or Dina, they're like, why? And I'm like, I want no part of them. I mean, when I was a kid, I was told, okay, you're seeing things as a demon, you're hearing voices. So I had similar stories, but I mean, nothing, that was never. Well, I had like a ball of fire roll up on my bed one time when I was a child, and I thought the bed was on fire, and it exploded like in my face, but it was ice cold. And I had things happen, but I never had like physical things. So, yeah, I'm like you. I don't want nothing to do with them.
I've dealt with it. I've dealt with it all of my life, so I know how you feel, Chris.
Yeah.
It's
but parents do that, right? Parents
way.
want to keep you safe.
Sure.
Parents want to keep you safe, and so, Mom, we can take the car now. You're not. Parents are sometimes too constraining, have too many rules, right? Like, get off my back, because they're worried about you. So, but as a young adult, I'm sorry about Dina. As you grow up, you learn to balance what you want versus what you should or shouldn't do. Hopefully, and that's hopefully how you can, live your life in a good way.
Yeah, I believe you're right with the goodness part. Go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing. I was almost going to say that every time I talk to you, Lynn, you have a new story. Like,
True, he does. He's
Well,
got a lot of stories.
I don't talk about a lot of them. I should probably do something with them, but I don't want to. I mean, I don't want any interaction with them. And even, these guys will tell you, guys and gals will tell you, I don't usually book people that deal with the ghosts and stuff like that. But I saw your story, and I was like really, really fascinated with it. When I reached out to you, I was like, "Oh, this guy's never gonna contact me." So.
We're glad you did.
I watched some of your podcasts, and they were down to earth, and they were interesting, and you were nice people. And I said, you know what? I want to do this, and so I said yes, because why not? Let's meet nice people.
That's awesome.
Oh, cool. Thank you. We are, except for Bobby. He's an Alabama fan, so.
I just tried to friend him on Facebook. I'm the nicest one of y'all.
You're not even my friend. What are you talking about?
Block.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know any of you people.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we don't know you either. You just kind of straggle in every once in a while. I don't understand it.
I'm about to fall asleep. That's what the worst part about me is. I'm always sleepy.
You know what? I was sleepy too. I've been running around all day long.
Good Lord. I've been working on stuff for the shows. You all. But, well, Chris, so I know everybody bugs you, wants your story, and wants to hear things and stuff like that. And like you said, you do try and avoid things at all costs.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that I don't want to use the word scary that stood out the most? I guess it was probably the bathroom incident. That
was the most physical of the attacks that hurt the most. Mentally, it wasn't that. Oh, by the way, you see in the chat, Mark Atria, she was the director of the film Please Talk With Me, was the first thing I did to share my experience. And her husband is John Jeff Unger, was my friend in college, wrote the notes. So love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being as my friend.
Yes,
hey, thank you for being there. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And if you want to find somebody for a new show, I know a guy. So go ahead.
The scariest thing for me was actually not that. It was mental. When I was in high school, there was a girl on my track team. Her name was Paula. And on the sports bus, at the very end of April, she asked me to go out with her. And I didn't like her that way. She had a boyfriend who I knew, and I said, I won't do that. She said, come on, you're making a mistake. Just go out with me. I'm like, no, I don't want to lie to you and hurt your feelings. So that's it. I'm hitchhiking home. I'm getting off the bus. Don't go off the bus. She got off the bus, and then they found her a couple days later. She had been hitchhiking, and she got picked up, raped, strangled, murdered, and left in a swamp. And so I always felt terrible if I just lied to her and said, sure, I'll go out with you, and just she'd be alive. And I felt this pain of like, am I supposed to lie? I mean, telling the truth means someone dies. How does this make any sense? And so I went to college, and I put her picture behind another picture. I hid it in the case. And during the haunting, I heard a crash on my desk, and I looked over, and the picture frame was pulled apart, and her picture was face up in the middle of the desk. I thought, oh my God, it knows. How does it know? How does this thing know? I mean, that was the scariest thing, because I had no privacy even in my mind. And I just thought, so that to me was like horrifying. That to me was just the worst, and so that was a tough thing. That'll be in the documentary too, talk about that as well. It's just this tough things, And I remember when Paula passed away, there was like, who did it, and everyone's suspicious in a small town, and people were nervous. It turned out it was a serial killer who killed 8 girls along the way, and he was put to death
Wow.
in Connecticut. His name was I think Jeffrey something. He was called the Egg Man. He delivered eggs. I mean, but anyway, it's just so scary to see that. And I remember after she died, about 2 weeks later, someone first had her number on their chest. They moved on. It's time to graduate. I mean, like, no one thought about Paula, and so I thought, that's horrible. I mean, it's natural, right? You're going to graduate, go to prom, things, but no one seemed to care she was gone. And so I brought that picture with me just to say, I'm not going to forget you. And when that thing, and no one knew, not a single soul, it was my own private thing. And then when the ghost took the picture frame apart, like, wow, I have no chance. So that to me was the scariest thing mentally.
That is scary.
That's pretty intense. That's one of those horror movie moments.
It was no blood, no demons, but just like Hitchcock's like, wow, my head hurts. Like Clockwork Orange, It's like, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Psychological.
Yeah.
And it was using it, yeah.
Sure was. It wanted to control. And I also found out, I mentioned I was a nationally ranked runner. I ran every day. I was fast.
Yes.
The reason he was killed, this Thomas Boyd, is because he couldn't outrun the Native Americans. He couldn't run fast enough. He's probably thinking, if I had those legs, I'm good. And I think that he was in his spiral of retention, So now it makes more sense to me. But I'm like, this is weird.
Wow. But what he said to you was, I made a mistake, or I made a.
Yeah, it was guttural. It was like, I can't do it, but like made mistake, and then so much pain. Like, but it was just rough, And at one point, he put his hand out to me. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Sorry, I ripped my arm off first.
Wow.
I didn't really admit I'm not starting something going to deal with you, So I couldn't go that far, but at least he understood that I tried to care. So
yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah,
which gives me chills.
Yeah. And then, of course, once the haunting stopped, and people saw the pictures by then, it was the newspaper came around, TV people came around. What's that? USA Today, the Democratic Chronicle, people looking for me. I had been on the FS and mailboxes outside, the big mailboxes. Where you live quite high,
Yeah.
But once the thing stopped, then that legend grew of this kid who talked with ghosts and put them to rest.
Of course.
And, who control these things and talk to spirits. And I became this really weird, like, campfire story person. And then, 27 years later, I showed up at that place to talk. And again, thanks to Mara and Jeff and Bill and people like that who encouraged me to talk. I spoke for the very first time 25 years later where the Warrens had talked. And I said, 10 people there. There were 200 people. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And that's how it happened. And that's how that NBC was on Sci-Fi found me. And that's how I began to share my story begrudgingly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it sounds like it needs to be shared.
Yeah.
Oh, and this hasn't happened yet, but when the Netflix show comes out, I've spent a lot of time on a book. So when that happens, 400 pages, I'll have that too if people want to learn more about that. So
there you go. Capitalize on it.
Because they're going to give me their viewpoint of me. This is me, though. This is actually me. So in case they don't do 100% what's supposed to happen, I get a backup here to find out what the actual things were. And my fingers are crossed. But this way, I'll be dead in a number of years. This happens. It's bound to happen. But this will, be my speech, my leftover goodbye. So.
That's great.
Yeah, I want to get a copy of that.
Not that it's your goodbyes, but that you have it documented. And
because it's more than me. It's more than me. It's more than my friends. It's for centuries people wondered through shamanism, through high priests, through rabbis, through all these these different people trying to understand what's going on, and maybe just this is like 1% of that answer, and that'd be nice.
Are you gonna go ahead and put the book out?
The book is being released when Netflix comes out, so you're probably about 8 or 9 months. It's on hold right now until that happens, because as you can see, I can't put the word on it. You can see the word. I can't put it out there all the way.
Oh, right.
So
right.
Once that happens, then the author reviews go on there and things like that. And my publisher did a great job. He had people in the New York Times edit the book. So that's really nice. So I'm very honored by that, So it's at least my word's is good.
Right.
So they help me out. Past, present, perfect. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know all that. junk. It's hard to deal with.
I can't spell it, so I don't know if I can do it. So,
I always get
So-
my tenses out of order. And
yeah. Well, Dina's actually the one that proofreads for me. So if it's screwed up, it's Dina's fault. Our
Not
chat
all the time.
GPT. So
not all the time.
no,
Yeah.
I'll let things. They're like, oh, that redneck speaking again. Well, so Chris, what did you make in life? Besides for the Ghost Boy, what did you go on to do?
Well, I got married young, had kids young. I'm a grandpa now, so I have a little
congratulations.
granddaughter in Florida. That's real nice. I have been teaching now for over 20 years. I teach history, special education, 7 through 12,
Cool.
economics, global history, U.S. history, government. So it's tough nowadays with the government stuff and all the politics, but we learn. And I tell the students, listen, once mama spits you out, life is not fair, except for one person, one vote. So when you pull that lever, push that punch card, you, Bill Gates, and the president have the same power in that moment. So speak your voice, cast your ballot for what you want. You win, you lose, but research issues, help your family, your country, and go do it. And so that's why I tell them, because most of the kids I have one or no parents, have been in the system and foster care, have been through the works, have criminal backgrounds. And I say, listen, I can't go back and change your past, but you can write your own book moving forward. Let me help you do that. And so that's what I try to do. And lying on that floor, thinking I was dead, I learned that people don't always see these things the same way. And so now when they have the difficulties, I try to get into their head, meet them halfway, so they don't feel like they're cut off, and say, where are you right now? And then we can talk in the middle, and then hopefully I can allow them to learn how to read and problem solve and get coping skills and job skills. And down the road, I put my head down one last time. I'll think, you know what? I did okay.
Yeah.
Chris, you're still passing that goodness on.
Oh, thanks.
I like it. I like that you tell them that life is not fair because it sure is not.
You can lie to people, but then you're responsible for that lie. And if they're hurt by that lie, that's on you. At this point, I'm so old now, I don't have time to remember my lies. I'm not going to even bother with that. I just tell them the truth, and I tell them the same thing too.
Yeah.
I can't make you learn. If you want to learn,
That too.
I can help you with that. But it has to be you who wants to learn. I can't make you feel a certain way. But I cheat, though, because at the very first day of school, I play the sci-fi stuff like, you're on TV. Oh, my, you're so cool. I'm like, that's right. So I have a one in my corner put it away, and they let it be my favorite. So it helps me that way.
Right.
So
It's hilarious you're saying that. My wife's especially a teacher, so it sounds like the same speech I hear. Sounds.
And it's only to you, Bobby.
Yeah, just to me. That's not
She
fair.
says that every night when she tucks you in. So.
Aww. What does she do? Does she play your videos and say, "Hey, I'm Bobby Dizzle's wife"?
Yeah, she definitely should.
Well, she should come on the podcast. The ratings would go up. So
She says the same kind of speech that he just said, not verbatim, obviously, but
Oh, I know.
can't make you learn.
Yeah.
I heard
and
that
she's
before.
seen a
Heard that
ghost
lot.
too. So there you go.
Yeah.
She definitely has two of them.
Bobby hasn't seen a ghost. He keeps wanting to see one. I don't know if he. I don't know that he wants to.
Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see a Bigfoot
Thank you very
first.
much, Vince. I appreciate that. Hopefully in the next 10 months, and I work very hard on those things. And I appreciate your friendship. You're a very good person, and thanks for being here tonight. These are good people.
Yeah, they've lit up
seem
the
to be
chat,
great
and I
people.
think that's good. You've got good friends, so
Yeah.
and that's also something you can tell about a person is the people they're associated with, except for me and these people. But no, I love them like I love my grandchild. I guess. I mean, and Bobby could be my grandchild, so but yeah.
That's funny. Can I say one thing about that, if you don't mind, just one thing?
You can say whatever you want. This is your show for an hour or so.
Well, no, it's yours, but I feel it's super important to me just to say this, whether people believe it or not. There's nothing better than having family or friends that actually like you. I mean,
true.
people want to fall in love, and it seems silly because you got to share things and compromise and listen. That's a pain in the ass. But we take that risk because we like it when someone is happy when we laugh. We like it when someone just touches our hand and just looks at us and feels like we mean something. And so as human beings, we take that risk. The people on here tonight say hello to me, like Nancy and Jeff and Mara and Vince. These are people who chose, sometimes my darkest moments, to say, I'm here for you. I've got your back. Not to make money, not to be famous or popular, because they really cared about me as a person. And when you're in a crisis, that is the most important gift you can get. And I keep using the word blessed or honored. I am. These are the people that just keep me moving forward, you know. And when you are a public figure like I am, kind of in the bottom here, people expect you to be on your game all the time. You can't get angry, you can't get upset, you can't. There's so many things you can't do because I'm surprised. Oh my goodness, you know. And I say before I go out, just in case. So it's nice to have people who I know, like my family, you know, who love me for who I am, not for the ghost boy. And so Leonard Nimoy, who was Spock in Star Trek, people like the fact people called him Spock. He wrote a book that says, I am not Spock. Ooh, people upset because to us, he was. And so he wrote a second book saying, okay, I'm Spock. Because he realized that it's not what you want all the time, it's what you need to people around you. And I remember I was walking through the Steamtown Mall in Pennsylvania, and this guy comes and goes, oh my God, wait, are you the ghost boy? I'm like, yeah. He's running over. I'm like, oh God, call the police. He's like, he bear hugging, like, he goes, you're the hero. Luke Skywalker, Spock, and you're in the paper. He's a wrestler. He used to say, and I wrestled. I am the ghost boy. Headlock and it was crazy stuff, right? I love that shit. And what was it like? I explained to him it was not cool, but you know what? I often felt alone in that room with that thing, like I was apart from society. It was cool to know some kid I didn't know, living states away, was cheering for me, was hoping for me, was rooting for me. And so I tell people, don't be too proud to accept help. No matter who that person is, they may talk different, think different, whatever. But if they're helping you out, take the hand and we lift it up. Because someday you might put your hand out to somebody who needs that from you. I know these things are like the cliches of paying it forward, but I really think that human beings need a social aspect to themselves. We need to have value sometimes, right? And I think the best thing is when you can overcome the differences and say, like music, go to a concert. People laugh and they dance. It's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that really the paranormal, if we share it correctly, can be a really great healing thing because we're all going to go there. Whether you're red state or blue state, male, whatever you identify as, we're going there, you know? So let's make this work.
Yep.
That's powerful.
It is.
And, you know, as a paramedic for, I don't know, 25 years or so, one of the things I always told people is you may meet somebody, you may hate their guts. And this is not just as a paramedic, but you can learn something from them. So, and you know, try and help when you can. So, yeah, it's been my motto. And that's why I love doing these shows. I get to meet people that have either been through experiences or going through something, and either sometimes we can say, hey, this is kind of cool, or whoa, that was scary, which for you was very scary in the moment. I know me as a child, I was terrified, but that's all right, it was a demon. But you know, no trauma there, Mom. So
didn't hurt a bit.
No, didn't hurt one bit. But it's nice to be able to meet people and get their story out and to relate to them, because a lot of us, and I know, like you were saying, cliche, I have stuff in common with most of my guests, besides for the comic book artists and all that. There's some kind of bond that made me want to reach out to you. And
I have next to me the unfinished cover art for Adam Warlock, done by Jim Starlin, and the actual cover signed by him. So talking about the comic stuff, that's amazing to me too. And as a kid, when things went wrong, I had a pretty good life. I would look at the comics and think, that's pretty cool. It was like a little escape from, you know, we had Vietnam going on as a kid and Watergate and everything's like, so we had the Avengers, Fantastic Four, things like that. And it was like a safe little escape. And even this day, I ask the kids sometimes in school, if you can't say it, draw it. So if you can't put down the word you want, draw it or make something for me. Take paper and make a shape for me so I understand what you're saying, because it could be a visual learner, that can be an auditory learner, I don't know, a manual learner. So I really try to have them express themselves as they can, because as a teacher, for me, I don't necessarily care about the standardized testing so much. I want them to be able to function in society so they have value and to be proud of themselves, you know what I mean? And if possible, support themselves, because I think that feels good.
Absolutely. Wow, that's great. Chris, are you a recluse, or do you have somewhere where people can find you if you want to? Or I know I have found you, but you know.
I'm a recluse, but I do go on Facebook every day, see what's happening out there. So yeah, I'm on Facebook, and I think I'm Christopher DiCesare, DiCesare. So I'll go on and say hello to you. There's also a website, it's CITA Ventures. boyofgeneseo.com, and that's my publisher, and that's where you keep an eye on that when the book comes out, and other things around there, such as recordings of certain events we had done and things like that. So, I don't have like 90,000 TikTok followers. I don't even have a TikTok account.
You don't do dances.
I like to communicate. I don't want to just do things people do them. I try to share my experience in the way that I can do it well. I like person to person. I like to have conversations, dialogues. I'm not real good on like posting a meme. So that's my bad. I'm sorry. I'm kind of old, I suppose. And
I get it.
Me, I'll answer back. I'd love to.
Okay, great.
Cool. I sent you a message request, by the way. Just
I think
friend request. Yeah, he blocked me.
You want? I sent a picture.
He blocked me. I was like, please.
He says he only wants to be friends with Dina. He's heard about that boy from Alabama. So
Chris, be my friend. Validate my existence.
I'll
Chris.
send you one as well.
I think it's cool to be friends with you guys anyway.
And by the way, before I forget it, Brenda was having internet problems, and apparently they cut her internet off. So I told her she needed to pay her bill, but
that's for the best.
Oh yeah,
it's a blessing in disguise.
Oh,
she's gonna shoot you.
She will
Putin
too.
Now, right? No Putin.
Yeah, we won't hear her yelling. Putin,
quit.
Well, Chris, I know I only borrowed you for an hour, and I appreciate your time. We all do.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I hope that anybody out there that's listening and listens to, we're on internet radio. This will be out on Spotify, Amazon, all that tomorrow. If they're ever in a situation like that, I hope you give them some advice. I mean, the Spider-Man comics are great, but they can only carry you so far.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It just allows you to be creative. That's all, and that's nice. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on. I really do. Hopefully we'll meet in person one day or at the mall someplace. Say hello.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm in your corner.
I'll bear hug you.
Yeah.
All right.
I wasn't ready to hear a good story tonight, to be honest. That was a good story. Thanks.
It was.
That's a great story. Unfortunately, it's real. So, Chris, if you want to hang around, you're more than welcome to. We have Nikki coming on, or you can go ahead. If you got stuff to do, you got to get ready for work or whatever tomorrow.
I teach in the morning, 7 o'clock. Got to be up and get to school and things. So, not to be rude, but I should really do that. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll go like the kids do.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I honestly appreciate it. But
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it,
Bye-bye.
Chris. I'll send you a message in a day or two.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
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 Have a good night.
Oh, that was impressive. Whew. I got some chills during some of that.
Yeah, I did too.
And I'm going to follow up with him. I'd like to.
Good night, thanks. Thank you.
I'd like to hear some more. Good night, everybody. Please hang around. We've got a great guest coming up, Nikki. And please, 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 thumbs up the video, like, follow, subscribe, share, spread the love, spread the Sport Cat love. But yeah, that, like I said, as a child, there was things that just kind of bugged me. So I don't know what they were to this day. I have some feelings about it, but that was a great show, and it was like I said, it was a great story. Unfortunately, it was horrific. And I know what he was going through mentally. It's torture, especially. Like I said, everything for me was a demon. It is to this day to my family. Everything's a demon. So.
Almost didn't come on tonight. I'm kind of glad I did.
Why? Were you scared?
I'm just tired.
No.
I'm about to leave right now here in a second.
Don't you leave. You gotta meet Nikki. Nikki will wake you up.
I am ready. I can't handle it.
Nikki will shock you. Speaking of, she is backstage, so everyone.
She has a lot of energy.
I'm going to introduce myself to her in bounce.
I was gonna play a video, but I think I'm just gonna bring her out. The wonderful, beautiful, and talented Nikki G, the Angel Advocate.
Hey everybody!
I'm gonna meet Nikki, and then I'm gonna say goodnight. Hey Nikki.
Hey Bobby, how you doing?
I'm about smoked for the night, so I'm gonna let Glenn take care of it.
Okay, well I'll catch you next time.
Oh yeah,
we'll get your pictures over to her. We'll find out who that is behind you. I think it's a horse though, so. Perfect.
Floating car. All right. Peace out, y'all.
All right.
See you, Bobby.
The wonderful Bobby Dizzle. He's tired. He did another show before ours for another podcast. So a few of us are kind of busy in the podcast world. I'll be doing some podcasts here with some other people soon. So I'll spread the good news about that as soon as, hint, she will let me tell people. So it's a national show. So Chris, once again, thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful night. And hello there, Nikki. How are you tonight? Please like, follow, subscribe, share.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, cat. Well, I have messages popping up here on my screen, and it blocked. I didn't look over there. It blocked cat. So was Nikki.
No.
So yeah. Well, I get through the show. I get messages on Facebook, and then I'll get other things shoot across the screen too from different messengers, and so. Yeah, I just got confused. I'm old. Overlook me. So
Okay.
It's her birthday. I'm like 84. So
Yeah.
So Nikki, tell us about yourself. I couldn't. Yeah, we hear you.
I can now. You were talking a minute ago. I
Okay.
didn't hear you.
Okay, because for some reason my headphones have cut out at this moment. Kind of like the if anything can go wrong, it will.
Of course.
When you're doing a paranormal show.
Try to get it.
And if anybody has a question for Nikki, please call us at 1-888-88-YERGZ, YERGZ. We are live on Live 365 Yerg Radio, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I don't know, Trovo, Twitch. I've forgotten so many, but
there was somebody in the chat. Arissa says, "Hey, Mama."
Oh yeah, I see that there.
Oh yay! Hey, Rissa. Yay! I got people too.
we love to share. We love to share from everybody.
I didn't know if it was your child or if it was just a "Hey, Mama."
That is my extra child. Yes, she is. My beautiful extra child. Yes, ma'am.
I get extra children.
Hey,
too.
Donna.
I get Donna, Jill, Kat. Man.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes. My crew will show up for me. I knew they'd be here for me.
Awesome.
I love you guys. Thank you.
What was he saying? Good friends. You have to have good friends. So.
Yeah, I was going to tell you guys, I want to be like Chris when I grow up.
I know. Isn't he awesome?
He's done a lot of stuff.
Story.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful story. And I'm glad he shared it with us. I don't know that... I'm not trying to brag, but I don't know that he shared it with any other podcasts. And I feel kind of. I feel kind of blessed because I've had him watching our show, and that means other people are watching our show. So it's not just us; it's a bigger world than I think. So, hey, James.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it's actually way bigger than we actually give it credit for.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that. So I'm sorry, Nikki, I got distracted by your beautiful pink hair there. So tell us about you. What do you do? I kind of tried, but I probably butchered it.
I might be cutting out because your question just stopped. So I'm going to hang on for a second and make sure it comes back in real quick.
Okay,
I think I'm back. I can hear you. What was your question now?
Okay. No, I was saying I would try to explain what you did and what all was going on with your process, but I probably butchered it horribly. So please tell us about it.
Well, you can't butcher it too horribly. It's just flat out what it is. It's that I have the ability. Soul Portraits by Spirit is the ability to see the dearly departed in their loved ones' photos. So, like I said, it's a way bigger world than what we're actually giving it credit for. And that's why I'm the angel advocate, because I can look at these pictures and I have this ability, and this ability anybody else can learn too. Hey, Lance Golden, that's my kid.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's the ability to see the dearly departed in the loved ones' photos. It actually goes a lot deeper than that. You can actually channel whoever you want to be in your photos, but that may be a podcast for another day.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one again because I'm still fascinated. We've talked offline about the Bigfoot thing, so
yes, yeah. And a lot of times people will say, "Well, can you do this?" And I'm like, I don't know. I've never had anybody who would do it with me. So yeah, let's try it. And that's been the beauty of it, is because people who actually practice what we call continuing bonds, they have a huge connection with photographs. I have a lot of people who practice their continuing bonds with their loved ones in spirit, and they'll hit me up and say, "Hey, I had a nudge. I just took some pictures, check it out. If it's nothing, don't worry about it. If it is, let me know." And, this is my whole thing, is that if you intentionally take the pictures, that's my other son, James Mason. Hey, James.
Hey.
So if you intentionally take the picture, you're going to get results. Spirit provides every single attempt. So, if you're intentional and you want to see your loved one in your photos, and know that at that moment, while you ask them to be around you and with you, and all you got to do, that's the instructions. You just quietly meditate for a few minutes and ask your loved one to be with you. Once you do that, just around the area that you're in, you just snap 2 or 3 photos. 5 photos is really what I ask people, 3 to 5 photos.
Mhm.
And I guarantee you, in those 3 to 5 photos, whoever you need to show up for you because that you've asked them to be there, you've called them to you, and they're going to come.
Well,
the angels are there for you every time you're intentional.
Yeah.
And when you're unintentional, because they're always trying to get your attention.
Speaking of which, you are going to be blessed to have our very first caller here, hopefully a real caller. Someone by the name of Kath is on the phone, so let's bring her in. And Kat, I guess.
Kath is a fan of Nikki's, so Kath, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead. You're on with Nikki and the Paranormal Guys.
Hey, Kat, how are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm thrilled
Kat.
to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, Kat, tell us, have you had, I don't know, is it improper to call it an experience? What's the correct term? Have you had exposure? Maybe that's a photography word with Nikki.
Yeah.
My exposure with Nikki. Hi, Nikki. It's great to talk to you and see you live and in person. But
yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for calling in. That means a lot to me.
My world.
She says you changed your world.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know so much
And,
as a one-time experience. Nikki has taught me that with intention, anybody that you wish can show up in photos around you in lifetime.
That's
Oh,
true.
wow.
Did you
I
have
just say for a second, I'm going to answer on Kat, because Kat was the lady that I told you was able to have Jesus and Mother Mary in her photos.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I felt that energy, right? I'm about to have that surgery, and I really wish I could take photos inside the room and see what happens, but we'll see. Maybe it'll show up in the video. But Nikki completely helped me change my trajectory of my grief after my husband left his skin suit, knowing that it's impossible to get pictures of him in lifetime now, which is amazing, because he was not a fan of getting his picture taken in life. And now I can get pictures of him all the places, everywhere. And even like when I'm not expecting it, I hear him go, "Hey, now's a good time to take a shot." And I just reach the camera over my shoulder and take a shot, and he's right there. I have a picture of him at a place, at a casino in Carson City, Nevada, that he showed up in between the panes of glass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Wow.
And this is what I talk about. Kat is also a person who continues bonds. She continues bonds with her husband. And these are the type of results. This is the type of happy joy that you can actually have. You don't have to feel like your loved one is gone, because we're the ones who call it a veil. It's really not. It's you adjusting, how you can see things. And I hope that Soul Portraits by Spirit is able to open a lot of doors for people like Kat, like Jill, like a lot of the people that are here with me tonight that can testify for this, because, it can't be faked. That's just the whole thing. It's not faked. So thank you so much, Kat.
There's no way. Even with the work that you do over top of it, you can't fake it.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell everybody to go back and look at your original. Mm-hmm. Whenever I give you a portrait, that's always my instruction to you is, make sure you go back now and look at your photo, because once you see what I've shown you, you can't unsee it. You're going to see it in your photo. You're going to show other people your original, And they're going to go, well, I don't really see it. And then you can show them the side by side that I give you, and they're going to go, whoa, right?
Yeah.
So what it does is the seed. It plants a little seed inside everybody that it gets to touch. So,
well, now, Kat, the very first time that you had the interaction with her, were you a believer in this?
I've always believed that spirit is around us at any given time. But my day-to-day interaction has definitely changed.
Oh.
Okay.
And I think that, you know, Kat, like I said, Kat is already, a practitioner of continuing bonds. She carries on a relationship with her husband. And so, you know, that is an important aspect of, you know, the type of results that, you know, I get for people that do continue bonds, you know, through the veil. I'll say that because that's what most people say. That's what's in the mainstream. But it's really a matter of you know, calling your loved one to you. This is what it's about. You can still have the same type of loving, even more. That's the thing that comes through a lot. People who had certain personality traits or, you know, weren't very kind or had hangups, once they cross over, it's just a completely different persona. And don't get me wrong, it's the same person. They have all the same hangups. You can smell their cologne, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
It's the same person, but now this person, you have to give them the opportunity to be able to show you that they're still there. That's the first step. You have to believe that it is possible. And so Soul Portraits by Spirit actually opens the door for a lot of people to think, I can see it in my own picture. Maybe it is true. So, you know, that's really my goal with this. The whole entire Soul Portraits by Spirit is the mission is to, you know, get it through to people that you don't have to suffer the way that people suffer. That's actually why I kept going, because it breaks my heart to see angels and photos and the person is in the same photo talking about, I'll never have you again, you know, and they're right there with you.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's been something that, you know, it's just something that's been very fulfilling for a lot of people. It's not a solution. It's not ever, we can't ever get the physical back, but you can have this. You can continue bonds after your loved one, you know, passes on in the physical. It's just a transition. It always made me so upset because we tell people all the time, your loved one in spirit is with you. They're with you all around you. They're all the time. And then if you say something that's like, oh, I think that was him, people are like, honey, please, you know, you're just in.
Yeah.
But we just sat there and told you that they're always around you in spirit. But, you know, that's why I'm the angel advocate. I chose that name for a reason. Because when I look at people's photos, the angels are in there going, do you see me? Not over here. Can you see me over here? Not up here. So, you know, every day I'm never bored ever now because there's so many people grieving. So many people, I give it away as a gift a lot because what more could you give somebody than printable proof?
Right.
That you intentionally asked for your loved one to join you and they're right there. It's a matter of you drawing it to you. You have to intentionally do it. And like I said, it happens unintentionally too, because the angels are always trying. That's what makes me sad a lot of days, because the angels, I can see them so clearly. And, you know, how do you just say to somebody who's grieving, hey, I know that you're really sad because you don't have this person anymore, but look.
Yeah.
It just, you know, it's a very delicate issue. It's very delicate.
Yeah.
Well, like the gentleman Chris was saying earlier, you know, people seem to think you're nuts sometimes when you talk about stuff like that. So, I mean, we've come a great deal further than we were in the past, but yeah, a lot of people still are like that.
Continuing bonds is exploding. People are really doing it. They're really having, you know, recordable experiences. I have a very good friend, and she's right here in this room with me right now. Her name is Donna Nova. Her and her husband through the veil, Chris. Chris is amazing. Chris came through excellent for me last night. She got a nudge, sent me the pictures, And of course, Chris was going to show up big time because Chris is a big major player. So these are pioneers. Donna and Chris are pioneers. There's Donna. There's my girl Donna. She knows because she does a lot of hard work. She documents a lot of stuff for us so that we
sounds
have
like
that.
Kat does as well.
Awesome.
Yes, Kat's amazing too. Yes, ma'am.
If you can do some pictures in the room there with you before, before we get off the air,
yeah,
send them to us. That'd be kind of cool. Since I've heard your story from Nikki, so that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kat's had some really great pictures. Yeah.
You want me to see if I can get a live picture right now while we're online and send it to Nikki?
If you want to, that's fine.
Yeah, or I can pull it right up.
Oh yeah, if you have them, you could share them.
I feel the nudge. I mean, I know he's always around, but
yeah, Marty's always sneaking in the picture for sure.
Marty's like, you're on the radio, honey.
right. Yeah.
And I'm not really prepared to take a picture when he wants to, but it's great. I understand. I feel the vibration more and more, and I appreciate that a whole bunch. My favorite thing I was going to say is when I come across other people who are grieving or have quote unquote lost a family member, or they think that they're gone, right? And I say, hey, they're not that far away. Let me just take a shot. Let's think about them for a minute. And then I take a couple pictures around the person, and then I show it to them, and they're like, wow, and where did you learn how to do that? And then I go, here, let me email you Nikki's link.
Yeah.
So that was okay. So she trained her. You trained Kat then?
Well, Kat was in my month-long classes that I had. So, Kat got to the benefit. I have a month-long class that I do for a certain, amount of people. I can't go too high because it's portraits, as many pictures as you want to submit. We're going to get you, an unimaginable amount. The monthly that I was having, and Kat was in. Kat was really a good participator in there, and she really came in clutch for me with the Jesus and Mother Mary, because I had.
I'm a quick learner.
Go ahead, Kat.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm a quick learner, so I'm a good teacher also.
Well,
and like I said, Kat already practices continuing bonds, so she always. There's my girl. She always, is down to, experiment with me. And I love that about Kat because, I don't know what this ability actually can all do.
Yeah.
I'm presenting you with, what I know right now.
We're going to find Bigfoot. Well, now, with the continual bond that you speak of, if you harness that and work with it, does it make them come through stronger in the pictures?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
People who continue bonds have way more results. Pretty much every time Donna Nova submits photos to me, and she's always like, don't worry about it. You don't even have to, don't worry. I'm like, how can I not? Because he's coming through, in this big way, but, he's powerful. He, absolutely clearly, you can see his face. I showed you a photo earlier, Glenn, and you were like, I can see a younger Bob, bob-headed kind of boy, blonde hair. And I was like, oh, you mean guy? Now Donna hasn't even seen that photo yet. I haven't had time to show her that photo yet, so she'll be pretty shocked when she has that. But see, that's the beauty of spirit. Spirit always has something in store for you when you're intentional. So
true.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a time ever. In my experience, I used to say 8.5 times out of 10 I could find somebody for people. It's definitely 10 out of 10 because I only wasn't asking for 3 to 5 pictures.
Yeah.
I was having somebody take a picture, and 8.5 times out of 10, I need the set. And, do them one at a time. Send me one at a time. I can tell you one at a time. Or, take your 5, send me your 5, send me 1 picture or 2 pictures of your loved one. And I'm going to return you some results because spirit does not disappoint. And, you know, everybody's always like, is this mediumship? You know, do you get messages? Can you give me messages?
No.
And it's not that I don't. It's not that I don't. I hear stuff all the time.
Right.
My job right here, right now, what I've been trained for, I tell everybody that I've been living like a nomad for 3+ years now.
Yeah.
I literally live on 2 to 3 to 4 hours of sleep a day and get right back up and start all over again, because my goal is to get as many people as possible to believe that their angels are actually trying to contact them.
What's your passion for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What that is.
It's passionate. You know, it can't not be passionate. You know, I have a good friend of mine now that we met doing this, and, you know, she'll call me right in the moment and say, please, I need to see him. I need to see him. I say, you know what to do. She takes her pictures, sends them back to me, and every single time, Jaden comes through for his mom. That's Jaden Anderson.
So
He's amazing too. Jaden and Heather. I don't know if she's here or not, because she, you know, she's got it rough. That was her baby. So, but every time she needs it, she knows where to go. And it's a Band-Aid. It's not a solution, but it has helped so many people open the possibility, like Kat was even saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I can show you can at least broaden your vision, because everybody wants to look real tiny.
Yeah.
Real tiny. Spirit is
Kat,
coming through all over the picture.
Kat, before you hang up, I saw your message here that you sent her a picture. So if we can't get it on tonight, we'll get it on the next show. So and please spread to everyone you know about our show. And I have this sneaking, just a weird feeling we're probably going to be seeing a lot of Nikki. So go ahead and hit that like, follow, and subscribe button, and come back and join us. And anybody wants to call in, Kat, I appreciate your call. You were actually the first time caller. So isn't that great?
Thank you, Kat.
Does Nikki have a way of getting in touch? Oh yeah, you Facebook messaged her. I'm going to get some information from you, and I'm going to see if I got something here for you, Kat.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Of course, Kat, you want me to get that from her?
Yeah, you can if you like, Ross.
From one sport cat to another cat.
From the light of pink, the light I have behind me, and pink is Marty's favorite color. And then I felt the merge, I think, where I feel him get closer to me, where he kissed me on the cheek, and then I took the picture. So my eyes are closed in the shot to concentrate on him. So you'll see my background, but I'm hoping he can.
I can't wait to see that.
And if you don't mind, we'll share it on the screen if you don't mind. If you do, that's fine too. So, but wow, that's Kat, I really appreciate you calling.
Very nice.
I didn't even really go back and look at the picture. I just sent it to Nikki. So I'm gonna actually, when I hang up, I'm gonna actually go back and look at the picture and see if I can see what I make it out.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. And that's another thing too. I'm glad that Kat brought that up, because that's actually my real goal, is to be able to teach other people to be able to help other people with Soul Portraits by Spirit. That's what it's really here for, is to be taught how to see pictures differently. And so that other people can help people that they know that are grieving. We all have a circle of grieving friends, like it's an epidemic.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's so easy to pick up on once you see where I show you that they're at. It starts training your own eye to be able to see it yourself. And I love that Kat said she's going to go back and now look at the photo and see what she can see. I love it when people do that. They circle and they add it in there. And, you know, a lot of people, if they're dealing with mediumship, they're not allowed to tell anything. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to say anything. So this makes it really fun, because you're encouraged while we're doing Soul Portraits by Spirit to talk about your loved one. That draws my connection with your loved one way deeper. And, you know, it may bring about stuff that I might not have seen before. So, it's
Kat,
a
I'm going
great
to pass
thing
you back off to Ross.
Thanks,
you can leave that
Kat.
message with him, and if anybody else wants to call in, please do. 1-888-88-YERGZ, YERGZ. Kat's going to free up the line here, and I appreciate her for doing that. But
yes, that was
pretty.
awesome.
That was
Yeah,
great.
boy, this. I went into this night thinking it's going to be a spooky, scary kind of night.
Right.
But no, we haven't. We haven't hung up on anybody. But when she gets off the line, you're free to call in if you want.
And I'm just going to say right quick. That's my girl, Kayla. It's her 23rd birthday. Happy birthday, Kayla. I told her I'd give her a shout out. She's my girl.
You going to sing happy birthday? You can sing happy birthday. I won't stop you. I mean,
I do portrait. I don't sing much anymore.
Oh, you've been okay. So you've been apparently she's been holding. So that's great.
Okay.
All right. Well, Ross will get you to me here in a second. So
ask me anything. Ask me. I am ready. I've been prepared. This is 8+ years I've been doing soul portraits by spirit.
That's great. And while we're waiting on the next caller, Nikki and I have been talking for several days, and I had sent her some pictures from Brenda, our co-host, and I was kind of like, yeah, maybe not, I don't know. And I didn't tell Brenda anything about it. I kind of snaked her a little bit on it. I was like, just send me some pictures, and like all girls, she wants to send me pictures. So I was like, okay with that. And so I sent them on.
Right, but she's like, why? I look like crap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I sent them on to Nikki, and she sent them back to me, and I sent them to Brenda, and I was like, yeah, okay, maybe. And we were still chatting. I had planned on sending her some photos, but I was going to try and do Jill, hang on there. We'll get you. I was trying to get something. I was going to try and I guess make something more elaborate, or I don't know what I was going to do. I was going to put more intent, but we just kept talking. I was on the couch Sunday watching football, and I'm like, okay, I got to call bull crap on this. I was like, I just got to call bull crap. And Nikki, I haven't told you this before. I said, but I was like, no, I don't believe this is crazy. So I was like, even if I'm sitting right here on the couch with my dog right now, if I just snap off a few, and she's like, yeah, go ahead, do it. I'm like, okay. All right. So I did. I'm going to send you like 6 pictures or something. I don't know. Me and the dog and like around the house or whatever. So it wasn't, I don't know, 2 hours later, something like that maybe. She goes, hey, your grandfather and your dad. And I'm like, yeah, come on now. But it was true. It was true. So, at first, I don't want to say I didn't want to believe it, because that wouldn't be right, but I was skeptic. I guess that's the best way of putting it. And I wasn't doubting.
I understand that skepticalness, because it's unbelievable. It really is.
Well, see, and that's the basis of my whole show, the Paranormal Guys, is one person would agree and one would disagree, kind of to balance it out. So, that's kind of the way it's been. Jill, hang on. I promise you, Ross has probably had to find his pen and paper to get that. So hang in there, guys. We'll get you. All right. I'll tell you what, as long as Ross will let me stay on the air, and as long as Nikki wants to talk, I'm here.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Dina, do you need coffee?
I do. Do you see my eyes? I can't even.
You do. You look a little sleepy there.
I think I will get some. Excuse me just a moment. I
think I can handle Nikki for a few moments, and plus you get a caller in here. Bobby leaves me, Brenda leaves me. It's just me and you. Well, that and whoever's around me. So
I was gonna say, watch what you say, because I don't think so.
I'll be back in just a moment.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, that's funny.
So that was really cool that Kat called in and did that. And Jill, she's the same. That's my girl too. She's waiting to talk to.
Todd, if you want to jump in here, hop on the link. You're welcome in here.
Her husband, Guy, Jill's husband, Guy, was at the time when Spirit was upgrading my vision size of the portraits. Nice cat.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one
with her naked eye. Yeah. So anyways, Jill her husband Guy was the one who kept coming through huge, like taking up the whole couch cushion, right? Not just a shadow.
Okay. Kind of like Dina's grandmother. She was on the back of the couch, or couch cushion. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
there's common themes that run, but that's because, the lights and shadows play a part. And so that's why I ask you for a little of the background. I had people in the beginning was like, oh, sure, you want some background in the picture, huh? And I'm just like, how else can spirit appear if there isn't? But, spirit's going to use lights and shadows, period.
We have Jill on the line now. Here we go.
There's Jelly.
Jill, are you with us?
1 second. There you go, Jill. You're on the line with Sport Cat and Nikki.
Hey, Thank Jill, how are you?
Hey, Jelly. Yes, I am. That's my girl right there, Jelly.
Hello. Yeah, you might have to turn your radio down because there's a delay.
Yeah. Turn your radio down in the background, please.
Oh, sorry, it's my daughter. The birthday girl.
Or having to go to another room. Yeah.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you, honey.
Get out of here. It's your birthday. Go on.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah, get out of here.
She's giving me a birthday present.
All right, well, one thing I got to tell you about Nikki is I was in a dark place, and she got me out of it when she told me start taking pictures and call your loved one up, meditate, call them up, say their name 3 times, and tell them that, hey, you want to take a picture, start snapping. And I'm like thinking, this lady's crazy. Oh my God, she is wonderful. I mean, I just am so totally amazed by what this woman has came up with. I couldn't believe it. There was my husband. I saw in my own eyes, but you're crazy. But let me just, she bring my mom, my dad, my husband, and help my daughter as well, knowing that he's here. And we're always snapping pictures, monitors. I throw everything at Nikki. I'm like, am I crazy? Is this it? So for her, I don't know if I'd be here right now. So a lot of gratitude.
Wow. Don't make me cry on air, Jelly.
It's true. I don't know why. It's the truth. But that is the truth. But when I first contacted her, she's like, look at the pictures there. And I mean, I could be talking to her on the phone, and I'll send her, look what I bought. And she'll go, look. And I had bought myself a ring, and I was so excited about this ring, and I showed it to her. She goes, I don't care about the ring, but look down on the floor and on the rug. And I said, what? She goes, let me circle it for you. And it was my husband.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I say it's not a solution. It's a great Band-Aid.
Jill, how long has she been doing this for you?
About a year maybe.
Yeah, it has to be going on about that now.
A year more.
Yeah, we're in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
she made me cry off my
shiny
point.
You're gonna be fine. You're still beautiful, Jill. That's this tonight. It's really weird how fate happens. I wanted this to be a spooky, scary kind of show, but it's turned into a positive, good show. I hope Chris is still listening too. It's really it's not what you think it is. And like I said, I told you I wasn't a believer, and like she said, this lady's crazy. So, but yeah,
imagine how I feel. Can I just say that?
Yeah, and Token Muddle is a brother podcaster. It is liberating to know that our family is okay. So, and Donna says Chris will always find a way to give.
Who doesn't know what they're looking for? But I mean, because believe me, if I thought first, I'm like, huh? And then when Nikki goes, that's your husband. And I'm like, it is. So first thing I was doing, it could be very scary, especially if you don't know what you're looking for. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but also, I guess, Nikki, didn't you get like 5 spirits on Julia's husband's pair of jeans?
Yeah, he's got like numerous people on his jeans. And see, that's the thing. Like, I want to do all the portraits, but you know how long it would take me to do all those portraits on Julia's husband's jeans? It would take a while. It would take a while because there was probably literally between 5 and 7 different looking people.
What
and a couple that look the same. So.
Is that people he knows, or is that just people that were, to use the word, present at the time the photograph was taken?
So I believe it has to do with him.
Okay.
Who I found in the photo that was extremely obvious on his shirt. Now, we were talking about his jeans. I did his shirt, his back, and it was his father that came through right on his back. So this is where the message kind of comes in with Soul Portraits by Spirit. When people are like, well, can you hear them? Can you talk to them? Can you ask them this? I just try to concentrate on the portraits because it brings a message through in ways that, I may misinterpret. That's a big thing with, mediumship, is having to trust what you're being given.
Yeah.
So, I don't try to chance it, because what I'm actually able to do for you and show you, how could I top it? How could I top it other than, to work on myself, and maybe that'll come through where I'm comfortable to do that someday. But for now, this is my job right here, because nobody in the world knows. Nobody in the world understands that this is really what's happening with photographs. And we had this little introduction to it in the, early 1900s, late 1800s with William Mumler. And I believe that he did have, I can look at William Mumler's faked photos and I can actually see spirits in the photos.
Wow.
But, that's another story, because I don't know if I'm ready to take that on too. You know what I mean? Because I really want the emphasis to be on people who are grieving, because it honest to God helps.
Well, I think there's scientific evidence to this in a way, because it's repeatable.
Yes, it's actually every single step is you can replicate any portrait that I do. I don't do anything to the photo that would be weird that you would not know how to do. I can shrink the photo or make it bigger. I take the background out of the photo, because sometimes it takes away from the face where you can see the person's face. So other than that, I may flip it the opposite way if they're looking this way, and I can see them in the picture looking that way, so I need them to be that way. I don't do anything else to the photo. So you could take that exact, and as a matter of fact, they have a PXZ file is the program that I use for Pixlr. I can send you that PXZ file, and all you got to do is go to pixlr.com, choose to open that, and open what I sent you, and you can have the exact replica of the work that I did for you, a copy of it for you to play with, do whatever. If you accidentally delete something, all you got to do is go back in and open it back up again, and it'll bring all the files back up again. So it really shorelined me being able to get this out to the world to prove that this is real. I've done a lot of documentation at this point. I literally have 200,000 videos and pictures. For this last post that I just did 2 weeks ago that I haven't finished yet, I literally have 2,000 photo files in there right now. And that's just from 2 weeks. So I have major storage space going on. But yeah, documentation was necessary. And Jill, Kat, Donna, Julia, everybody that I've done them for are all part of that documentation, because no one's ever done it like this before.
True.
And I do believe that this isn't my ability. This isn't Soul Portraits by Spirit is not mine. I have to emphasize that, because people are like, you're great. And I'm like, this is spirit, because no human on the planet could do this without cheating in some kind of way. And spirit gives me full proof, because it comes from your phone. I can't hack your phone and change that picture around. And then it comes from you. I'm just pointing out, spirit allows me to see what I see, and I can just point it out to you. I don't have spirit sitting right here next to me that I can see, because I wouldn't be okay. This would be a scary show.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was telling the earlier.
You were stuck in the phone, and there was Guyz right in your face.
Right. And it'll happen every time. It'll happen every time. If you're intentional with it, you're going to get splendid results. You can send me a picture. Sport Cat, you already know this, Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn sent me a picture of his dad for me to use in a portrait. And as soon as I saw the picture of Glenn's dad, I'm like, hey, you want this red pill or this blue pill? Because let me tell you something. And he's like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? I'm in that picture. There's no way you're talking about time travel. And I'm like, whoa, I'm just going to show you what I see. I don't know nothing about time travel, but yeah, it'll happen every time, anytime.
There's some quantum mechanics somehow involved in
Glenn,
this.
can I tell you something real fast? I'm sorry, Nikki. You know I love you.
That's
no,
okay.
absolutely. This is why we have the line. We want you to talk, not me.
Right.
You look like her father, the mustache.
Oh, I do.
Oh,
he must have been a handsome man. So
yeah. Yeah. That's true, Julie. I can't believe that. You're right.
it's a fireman mustache.
You look like Guy.
Don't be trying to match make. You got a man, Julie.
What man is that? My husband? He told me to go on.
Okay. Well, we're getting personal now. We ain't talked in a minute.
Well, we might have another show for that, Jill. Jill, I'm glad all of you are calling in. If we have more people, I think somebody else was looking to call in. Please do. I am so glad you called. It's
whether you call me back too.
Where are you calling from, by the way? I forgot to ask.
Aurora, Illinois.
Oh wow, okay, that's cool. And I forgot. Do you know where Kat is, by the way, Nikki?
Yeah, Kat is in California.
Wow, that's incredible. The powerful the internet is.
Yes, I've done portraits for people all over the world. I'm a night owl, so guess who's awake during the night? The other side of the world.
Because when I'm working on podcast stuff, we're chatting too. So yeah. All right. Well, Jill,
thanks, May.
I appreciate you calling in. And we will talk to you soon.
Hooray for you.
Thank you, Julie. I love you so much.
I think we're going to see more and more of Nikki. So just keep that in mind. I have a sneaking feeling that you're going to be seeing more and more of her. So
thank you.
I better.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Well, I'm going to send you back to Ross there. All right.
Hey, Jill, don't hang up yet. Jill,
okay. I'll let them two chat for a second.
Girl.
Wow.
I actually just called her 15 minutes before I went on air, and I'm like, I haven't talked to you yet. I have to tell you this. She's like, what? So that was really cool. She took the time to call in for me because she didn't even realize I was doing it.
It's like I told Chris, we're just a little show, but dang, California, Illinois. That's crazy.
Not for long.
That's crazy. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So what you do,
really,
Nikki? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, really, that's my thing too. Is the more people like I want to get on here, I'll have to get a new computer first because my computer's over here kind of silently dying. But anyways, I would love to get on here and just do live portraits for people. People can send in their photos or whatever, and there doesn't have to be any type of feeling as far as payments or anything like that. We're not talking about this isn't about money. It's not. And of course, I would love to do this for a living and have this but Spirit guided me way past that by now. It's about getting the seeds planted. So if you need this in your life, let me know.
That's great. For another show.
Yeah, we could do that. If the fans want it, I'm all about it. And it would be your show. I'd just be here pushing buttons and harassing you. So
hey,
and as long as Ross is willing, we'll get you on the Live 365 for the Guyz radio channel. And everybody, coast to coast. Yeah, tune into Guyz radio because he's got a variety of other podcasts. If you're into politics, you will love him or hate him, but he's got some great stuff on the politics lineup. So yeah, give him a listen too. I don't want to forget where I come from. Ross has been a great help, and he's a good man. So make sure to tune in and check him out. And let's see, what did Kat said? I'll tell Marty to back off your computer.
Yeah, between Marty and Chris, Donna's Chris, between Marty and Chris and Jennifer, her husband, Chris. I mean, I'm talking about, I have portraits sometimes with, 8, 10 times coming through. So this computer has been with me since I've been doing it. So it's about time for a new one.
Well, hang in there. Maybe we'll have an all-night fundraiser, like the Jerry Lewis telethon. So
there you go.
So,
Spirit-thon. Let's have a spirit-on.
Yeah, that's right. Sport Cats Misfits. We could do that. So and that's all about giving back too, because that's what I believe this is all about. So you take the picture, you put it in Pixlr, right? And then it's where you start working with it. And we have Brenda back. And just in time, we have another caller. We have Julia on the phone. So I'm gonna bump you up here, Brenda. And Miss Julia, can you hear us?
Hi, yes I can.
Oh, great. Where are you calling from?
Oh.
Huntington, West Virginia.
Oh, it's Julia.
Hi.
Hey, Julia.
Hi, beautiful. I love your pink hair.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, girl. Thanks.
So, Julia, tell us about your experience with her.
She's amazing. And she gave me a beautiful birthday gift of my mama in spirit. So I just want to give a big shout out to Nikki and thank her for all her beautiful work that she does.
Thank you.
So how did you hear about her?
We're on the same group. I'm actual medium, just like Nikki herself. And she's amazing. And I thank her for just the humble and the kindness that she gives.
She is.
And trust me, it's my honor. So I have no choice but to be humble. This is not about me and how I feel, but I feel very humble to be the one that gets to bring this to the world. So thank you, Julia.
Great. I love it. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Nikki of her being so beautiful and carefree.
Thank you.
She's a beautiful soul in person. So yes, I agree. Wow, Julia, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you calling in. This is great. And anybody's welcome to call in. Do you have one particular story though, Julia, about her that you'd like to share? Something, I mean, don't get personal unless you want to.
Well, of course I would like to be. We're nothing but personal, right, Nikki?
That's right. I was going to say, that's not a very fair thing because me and Julia talk offline.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe something for air. How about that?
No, but my personal experience with Nikki is I actually had never met her, and it was my mother's in spirit, and in like a week and a half, she'll be gone for 5 years. And the first year she was gone, the only thing I wished for was just a little personal touch from her. And Nikki dropped in a beautiful picture on my birthday of my mother in spirit. And she continues to do so even after not just one, not just two, not just three, not just four, just 5 years. Wow. So I love her. I love her. I love her heart. I love her spirit. I love that she cares, because she cares so deeply about people and how they feel. And that's what mediumship is about. Even with my gift, we have highs, we have lows, but her highs are so beautiful. And I just want to just give a big shout out to her because she's so gorgeous in spirit. And I'm grateful for her. And my mommy thanks her on the other side.
Oh,
that's amazing.
I love all your family, Julia. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, you guys.
You know you are.
And you know, Julia,
and I thank you. And I love the fact that not just me and you, but me, you, and Jilly, we're the best of friends, and we can communicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just told Jilly, hopefully I get back to the little clicky thing you guys got going on here without me, that I've been away for months, trying to get everything together.
No, you're in the click. Shut your face.
I love that.
See, that's got to be friends, right?
But yeah, Jill's my best friend. I love her very much. But I want to say this. I want to say this first and foremost. So I love Jill with every ounce of my being, but I want to thank you just for the beautiful gift that you have gave me throughout the years of connecting with pictures, because I even say this, with my mediumship and my abilities to speak to spirit, I connect through pictures as well. And mediums are different, mediums don't have to have a picture, but I do. I absolutely do. So I think we're on the same page, with how that works. And I thank you for giving my husband a beautiful gift of his dad.
Did he see it?
So skeptic, and I love proving a skeptic wrong.
I just said that right.
She got me on Sunday.
See it, Julia?
It's so fun, right?
Did he get to see it?
Yeah, but he's still a skeptic, so I'm just waiting for that little.
Yes, that's what we want. Yeah, we
Julia,
want him to remain skeptical, because you should be skeptical. There's too many people out here trying to get people. Be skeptical and do your due diligence. There we go.
I mean, even for my gift, sometimes I'm like, "Hey, your dad wants to give you this message." He just looks at me like, "Joy, not today, babe. I love you, but not today."
That's what I was going to say.
My crazy can shine bright too.
I was going to say that he's a skeptic because, well, all men are. So, and she got me on Sunday. So, yeah.
Well, no, I don't think all men are, because I broke through the barrier with my mediumship. I can absolutely say, I've met lots of skeptics and I blew their mind, and Nikki can blow your mind in a second. So I just think
Julia really is blossoming right now. I'm just going to shout that out to the world.
And Julia, friend request me, if you want to come on the show sometime, we'd love to have you on the show as well. That's what we're about. Spread the word.
God, did you just say I'm blossoming?
Blossoming.
Yeah. You're blossoming, baby.
I know. I love that. Thank you so much.
I just love it so much, because doing this has opened up a lot of people's connections, because I'm different from other mediums, because I stand my ground with this mediumship. It has fostered within so many people to believe in their self too, because we all have ability.
Beautiful though, but the picture is what resonates with me. You can drop the soul into, and I can connect with the soul through the picture. And to me, it's just, everybody's different, and that's the best thing about mediumship, is we're all different. But I do appreciate you.
And it all works together.
And I thank you for all your gifts.
That's awesome. And like I said, you're welcome, Julia, to friend request me, and we can get you on the show and let you talk about some of your stuff. Any of Nikki's friends, feel free to just let me know who you are, and we'll try and get you on the show.
Nikki,
well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'm just here to give a big shout out to her, because she's beautiful and she deserves everything that's happening to her right now.
Cool. I think Brenda has a question for you, Julia.
I actually didn't have a question. I was just going to say it's a good thing Nikki's got friends, because we all don't.
This is my life sitting here.
You know what? Sometimes I don't want them either, Brenda. It's okay.
These are all my friends.
I like to sit in silence, because I already have lots of people talking to me anyway.
Yeah, the same way. It's like, oh.
I can imagine.
Too much. But yes, I'm just, like I said, I'm just here to give a big shout out to her and appreciate her, because she's wonderful, and give a big shout out to my best friend Jill. Her and Guy have that beautiful connection in spirit, and me and my mommy. I know I'm 42 years old, and I sound so sad that but my mom actually opened me up. She was the first person to actually talk to me that I was actually able to hear. I was able to see at 6 years old, and I was able to feel, but to be able to hear is a different acknowledgement. Yeah. And then to be able to see the picture and the drop that Nikki portrays, which is beautiful. And like I said, this is all about her, and her time to shine. So I appreciate you in every aspect.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she must have had a hiccup.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back to the show.
Oh, hi.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Julia.
I'm going to send you back to Ross, Julia, unless you have something else you want to say to us. I appreciate you for calling in. I appreciate all of you for calling in. It's 1-888-88 Yergz. That's YERGZ. And you can also check out. Yes, ma'am. You can also check out Ross and his radio station, our radio station. I'm going to go that far tonight. I'm going to say our.
Yes.
Because him and I had a really good conversation backstage. Live 365. Everybody download the app and check him out. Yergz Radio. He's really cool. I like him so. And James, speaking of James says he loves you.
James. That's my son.
Well.
Hey, son.
So yeah, he should love you because you raised him. So that's kind of like a. I mean, unless you fed him bad chicken or something. So
it's the hard part. You had him.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. I haven't experienced that.
He was my grown man baby. He was the one that always looked like he was a grown ass man his whole life, and he's just fine now.
He was a protector. So.
Yeah. That was my little man. I got 3 kids. So.
3.
Pink hair.
Oh, thanks. There'll be more than pink next.
I got booted when you first came on. It's like, oh man. Well, hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I last.
Yes, you look beautiful. You look beautiful too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
fit in that screen. Now keep it up.
Glenn looks beautiful too. We can't leave him out because if we leave him out, he gets kind of jealous. Glenn, you look beautiful.
I'm trying to match my microphone boom here. So
in your Tennessee shirt,
nice.
I'll wear that for Bobby because I know Bobby loves Tennessee.
Of course, I look at it and see a Texas shirt, but you know.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, you would be really
That's
wrong.
the woman who picks up snakes.
You just keep all that right there. You just keep all that there. I don't want none of that here in Georgia. I'd never seen a timber rattler till I moved to Tennessee, and I don't care to ever see another one again. So,
right.
You own a gun.
You guys see my earrings? Look at my earrings, girls.
Oh, they're angel wings.
Yes.
Hey, if you're ever out camping and got stuck, that would make an excellent fishing lure. Just throwing it out there.
Right. Hey, I got a wilderness manual.
I have they have a spaceship on them with a beam coming down. It's got Bigfoot in the middle of them.
Right.
I'm not wearing them tonight, but yeah, I got some.
Okay, we'll have crazy earring time next time because I got some too.
Yeah,
Bobby, my estrogen level is high.
Your estrogen level is high, Glenn? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, it's weird, Bobby.
My ear holes grew up.
Right.
I have virgin ears again.
Dina, take Glenn to go get his ears pierced. You might need you to pass this out.
Not into pain. Well, she knows it would. I don't like pain.
I'm not into pain. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, they jab a needle through your ear.
You don't even know it happens. It's so fast.
I'm a paramedic. I would know.
Look at
big
girly man afraid of getting his ear pierced.
I have a healthy respect for needles, so I've been stuck by too many of them, intentionally and unintentionally. So. Well, Nikki, I know you probably, because of your computer, can't do the picture that she sent you a few minutes ago, but you can look at it and tell us what you see, though, right?
Okay, I'm gonna definitely try. So if it don't come through, I'll be back.
Okay.
We ain't going anywhere. You're good as long as
here.
Anybody else that wants to call in, 1-888-88 YERGZ. That's 1-888-88 Yergz. So you can call in and talk to Nikki. You can talk to Dina. You can talk to Brenda. I don't know why anybody want to talk to me, but you can talk to me too. So
I'll put Putin up here. Everybody can talk to Putin.
No, he barks.
I don't know, a little Russian dog. I don't think that's going to get me ratings. So
I don't even know where. Oh, look, I have this thing that goes under the door to keep the breeze out, and it's the white and black stripes with the red ruby shoes. And I have it hid in the corner over there sitting up.
Oh,
He has found them and he's dragging them out.
Oh, no. Lord. Jill says, I love you, Nikki. Thank you for having her on your live. You're more than welcome. Please tune in, like, follow, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. She says that you are beautiful. Yes, you are. And Julia is a wonderful medium, and she is good. So, well, the offer is out there. Anybody wants to friend request me, Nikki can send you in my direction. We will get hooked up, and we'll get you on a show. Your mustache is my husband. I'm not really sure how I should take that, Jill. I'm a fireman. Remember, I'll be like, you want a handlebar ride or something? I'm kind of concerned here. So.
I don't know if she wants to marry your mustache or.
Back. You know,
I don't know. Jill, send me a friend request. We'll talk. So
that thing off one time, and we were like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
I'm so glad he grew it back. So glad it came back.
I went through a crisis. I got in a fight with a weed eater, and
I think you were just going through that midlife crisis thing. That's what it was.
Well, see, winter's coming, so I got to have this for winter, you know. So
it's a fresh grow.
Grow.
Right.
Yeah. You know how you cut the grass and it grows faster.
Yeah.
So.
Does it smell like fresh grass?
It's softer.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure if that's good or not. Hopefully, it wasn't me, Jill, that made your daughter cry. So, wasn't me. It was Brenda. She's right there.
I did not.
You can get in touch with her at.
Yeah, that is my email. Holy crap!
Yeah, I wonder why you had that up there. So
that's because I came in on team, not guest.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, you let yourself right in the door. I got to keep an eye on that. So I could be
right in.
Love the man in uniform. I wore it for almost 30 some years, and I don't know. I love the uniform too, but I don't know. I'm over it now, I guess. So
God had other plans for you.
Well, you know, and anybody that's tuned in here long enough would know that, you know, my attack on duty that cost me my career was technically my second strike, because I have the rare intracranial brain disease.
Yeah.
And I went and fought and got back on the fire truck and did what I love to do. And then, you know, a voice in my head tells me not to get bit. I don't listen to the damn thing and got bit. And so here I am. But I think that I knew when I moved from Tennessee to Georgia, there was a reason for it. And I found it out when I worked at the fire department through some people I met. I've yet to figure out why I'm podcasting. So now I think I might be seeing it. So
well,
my bottom looks like your husband.
I will let y'all know it took me like a month and a half to talk him into let's just go ahead and do this.
You know, I was like
burned by the last one, so he was like, no more. But he was miserable not doing it, and you could tell.
And look at me, I've got a radio station now. I've got live call-in callers.
I'm so proud
I'm
of you.
surrounded by hot chicks. So
what to say? Surrounded by 3 beautiful women. What are you complaining?
Hell yeah, it's better than one furry old man who has to die of shit. So hell yeah. So,
all right, I'm trying to pull it up, guys. I'm pulling it up on this window that I'm in right here right now. So I don't know if it's gonna hold. We're trying it right now.
Okay.
And I'm frozen on my end, so I don't know.
Well, you're moving for us.
We can still hear you.
You're like
so
roboting on our end, but we got you.
Okay.
That was the 1980s days.
All right. Well, you what?
She said you were doing the robot, and I said that's a 1980s dance.
Do you remember it, Glenn?
Okay, it might work. It might work. Okay, I'm gonna try to share it. Share. It's so weird when I hit share. There it goes. It just pops up late. That's all. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you were probably taxing your computer. So yeah, we really should have a telethon.
Yeah.
Put out the word and stay up on Saturday night drinking beer. Yeah, I can do that. We'll have a show for you. Fundraise.
Do it.
I've never done it, but what the hell? We'll do it. I'll be like Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, go
Right?
fund me telethon. Go fund me telethon.
That's right.
Hey, and one of the things is we can time how long Dina sleeps when she falls asleep till she wakes up.
Kiss my sleepy butt.
You know, we love it.
Leave Dina alone, guys.
We love it. The guys wanted to run off on her one day, girl, and I was like, I feel like a cheap date leaving her here. She'll wake up, nobody's gonna be here.
You feel like a cheap date. You'll wake up and nobody's around. Like everybody left me.
Oh, you guys are right.
I get so. I woke up at 6 this morning, and I didn't have a nap. I didn't go back to sleep or anything. So.
Wow, that's right there.
Yeah, that's Donna's guy right there.
Oh, wow.
There's a face.
So I'll show you the whole picture first.
Yeah, that's a superimposed, but yeah, I had already seen this one previously, so
yeah.
All right, so we'll show you without Chris. Everybody, I'd like to introduce you, Chris Rafswood. He's
hello, Chris.
an amazing spirit. Okay, thank you. Yes, we do welcome Chris to the show because Chris really came in good for us because this was that nudge photo where she was just like, hey, I know you're busy getting ready for the show. And I'm like, okay, I'll just look at it right quick. And I was like, I should have knew. I was a setup when she told me, hey.
Hey, just look at
That's
this.
a good setup, right? It's a good setup. Chris always comes through. So this is the photo originally. So as you can see, it's a little bit hard to see before I show you what you're about to see. So I definitely get why people are like,
I do see it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to emphasize too that this is actually how I see the spirits.
Okay.
Okay. I see where they're at. It's almost like what's it called? Predator. You know how he was in the trees and you can see him up there, but you can see through it too.
Right.
That's how it comes to me. Now she sent me, I think 4 photos. I think she sent me because she was just like, because we practice together, so she already knows. Just take the dang pictures and send them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the pictures that she sent me, this is the only picture that caught my attention right away, and it caught my attention right at the place where Chris is at over here. I didn't know why, because as you can see, when you first see it, you're like, that's smudges, right? That's rule number 2, because it doesn't matter how the smudges got there or anything else. It matters is what I can see that it's Chris right there that's coming through in the lights and shadows. So this is the superimposed. Now what I do is where I can see Chris at, I just come in here and I have several photos of Chris now because we work together a lot. I have several photos of Chris. So I just kind of go through the plethora of photos that I have, or Donna will send me one. But I know what Chris looks like by now, so I usually know what picture it is that, I can see in there. So that's what I did. I just went and found the picture. This is with him out of the picture all the way. And this is Chris in the picture. Now, I can only show you so much in a picture, right? I can't show you that you can actually literally see that this is where Chris's eyeball goes. On the other parts, like here and here, you can literally watch the nostrils are right. The glasses. Can you see the glasses come in?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, that's exactly how I see it. It's kind of like this far off kind of, and that's one thing that really helps me is because I look at photos on different sizes. I look at it on a screen this size. I look at it on that screen. You can't see this big screen over here, but it's a 27 or 30 inch screen. This is what helps me kind of get perspective, because we're so used to when we look for faces and somebody's like, oh, I see a face, and we're like going in real far. So as you can see on the microwave, he takes over that whole space right there. Now that's the final picture. There's actually 2 other pictures that fit in the pot. And so I wanted to get a chance to talk about this too, because this is actually how energy vibrates and it's able to be captured in the photo. So Spirit is going to use the lights and shadows, and it's going to come through because it's a shutter that's opening and closing when you're taking a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like so many seconds apart. Oh my God, I know you do, Donna. Anyways, it will come through in different where it's moving through the picture. So you might see him over here. That's a lot of times where people will say, I see what you're showing me, but I see over here too. It's usually a residual energy trail that's been captured by this 76 shots in one photo that makes the photo. So, it's really important. I didn't know why I call them spiritually speaking portraits. Mm-hmm. Because it's the whole thing all the way together, which is really confusing for a lot of people. And a lot of people are like, I don't know what you handed me, but it's pretty. Right? So it actually has very, very big significance because it does contain a quantum type energy that's captured in a photo because of the amount of snaps you get in it moving through. Sometimes you can catch the same energy that was just over here in the picture. If you're doing them in succession, you can catch them over here in this picture too, as they've moved across where the picture was. So it's really amazing. Nobody knows what's going on. And like I said, Chris came in clutch for us. This is actually what the picture looks like right now. So there he is in all his glory. You can see, I'm going to take this off of here, which is that photo, it's on top that I keep playing back and forth with. It's that photo that covers it all up. Yeah. That's the background photo. So when I take that off of there, you can see where Chris's picture actually is in the red that's lit up. Yes, Donna, exactly. It's like ripples on a pond. That is the perfect explanation for how it can come through. Because it's literally a walkthrough. And it might be up here, and it's coming down this way now. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just how, and the thing about it is, you can see here that Chris is right here, which is not exactly on the center of the photo. The center of the photo is right here. Mm-hmm. So when I drop a photo on here and it lands here first, and I will go ahead and pop that up because I always leave those. This is where Chris first appears at in the photo when I just drop it normally. So you can see here that it's different from this side here to this side here, which is different. And that's only because, and I can move this right now, because when I'm moving the photo, it's coming over to a different position. So once I let go of the photo and go back, it's going to come over and I'll show you, see how it straightened up the box now.
Okay.
So that's how you kind of tell that I haven't done anything except for what I did when I just moved it, you know what I mean, from the position it was. So the only thing I did to the photo was literally just move it from this position to over here. I didn't even have to like make it smaller, make it bigger. I did this, scooted it over here, turned it a little bit, and I'm like, there he is. There he is. And I cry a lot. I'll just admit it. I cry a lot. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. And especially, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying it's unbelievable.
I was going to ask Glenn if he still had that picture that you did for me with the cat on my head. I'm actually looking for it.
You want me to pull it up? I can pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I can, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking for it and I can't find it. So I thought,
I'll definitely get you
y'all have to
Dina,
excuse it because I had just woken up that day. So I was in all my glory of, oh, wow.
Brenda, we're going to see a picture of you. You sure you want to put that out there, Brenda? That's you're always beautiful.
Fine. My mouth was shut, so nobody. Okay, I didn't have my teeth in, so.
Oh Lord!
You know what? The fact of the matter is, you look great, truthfully, because what's coming through your photo just completely blows anything else out of the water that anybody can ever criticize. Right?
I couldn't believe it. Photo. And like I said, the funny thing of it is ever since I was a little kid, and I have been able to see, hear, feel, talk, whatever.
Yeah.
I have always been told that I have a spirit animal, and my spirit animal is a cat.
Nice.
Which might explain why I let my cat beat me up all the time.
And I am the sport cat, so
yeah, you are a sport cat,
right?
But there's another one with it right here, like
it's on the right hand side. Yeah,
I'm gonna show it to you. I'm just
okay,
gonna
you're
get all these
live.
little
Gotcha.
things off. Yeah, I'm gonna get all these words off of here so we don't have any distractions. All right, so I'll move it up closer so we can see it. So this image right here ended up being the overall image that I knew everybody was going to be able to see. Because see, what happens is you see all these little images down here. These are all pieces that I have to put into it to finally come around to where I can see all these places that he's at, right? So I have to finally come around to a happy medium of all the places that I see. And because of the rules of Soul Portraits by Spirit, Spirit builds portraits. So I may not have even seen, not necessarily this one, because this is the one that I did see, but I might not even see the next position. It's only when I've done the work and done this position and this position. Now that that's blocked out, now I can see this position down here. So, you know, Spirit builds portraits for me. And anybody that follows the rules that I have written down and that I share with everybody, it's not a secret. If you follow the rules, you're going to be able to do Soul Portraits by Spirit, period, if you follow the rules. And this is why I want to get people in a class type environment so that we can, you know, that's what it's been all about all along. Donna will say, hey, do you think we can get Chris to do this? And I'm like, I don't know, let's try it. You know what I mean? Because it's very revolutionary. We are the pioneers. You know, Veronica Hollingsworth, she's got a group that, you know, there's great things happening. Donna Nova is one of the most detailed about her experiences.
Okay, we lost audio, or is it me?
No, I think we did.
Yeah. Nikki.
Hang on, Nikki.
She's she's telling a great story.
Nikki, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Are you back now? All right. Hey, while we got a second here, I'm going to change up a little bit. Ross is going to shut down the toll-free number for tonight, but if you want to, you can send a voicemail by going to speakpipe.com/paranormalguyz, Guyz, and you can leave me a voicemail, you can leave Nikki a voicemail, you can leave Dina a voicemail, you can leave a death threat for Shelton. So yeah, I will have an email up, and so if anyone leaves one, I will try and snatch it and get it in here. So yeah. And I'm also I'm seeing we're getting a lot of new subscribers to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Please thumbs up and like the show as well as subscribe. And remember, we are on every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock until Ross is kicking us out, which, by the way, he said we're allowed to stay for a little while. We broke a record on his radio station with listeners tonight.
Yay.
And so that's good news. We're growing. And if one person tells another person, we will grow even quicker. So we appreciate it. And I'm just so happy with the way this show is going. And I'm sorry, Nikki, I'll give it back to you. I'll shut up. But you can still get us. It's just going to be a voicemail.
Nikki, I think I'm going to
You better go ahead and get your props.
Yeah, Nikki, I think I'm going to get a copy
for a minute.
I think I'm going to get a copy of that picture, and when the next time I go to the hairdresser, I'm going to have him dye that cat right there in my hair, just like that. I think that would look so cool. Yeah. I need that in my hair.
Yeah, totally. And this is why I love it, because I don't have to. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
My speaker just did some weird thing again.
Uh-oh.
You can't.
Oh.
Okay.
But you know, it's funny.
So this is what I love.
Paranormal. Look at that.
You what?
I said, just look at that. Yeah.
Are you trying to freak me out? Okay.
No.
I thought you were trying to freak me out or something, Glenn. Like,
no, I'm like, look at that cat. Yeah,
okay.
no.
Like, don't, Glenn, don't. Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's my most favorite part about it not being faked, because you can take this exact same thing that I have here, and when you reduce it down, you can literally see the cat's eye. You can see the cat's ears. You can see exactly where the shadow of the cat is. Plus, you can see him.
And
that's at 0.
To be honest, with you,
That's
I snaked Brenda on this. She didn't know what we were doing because I didn't believe you at first, and I was like, if I have this crazy woman on the show, and Brenda is always the one to call me out on stupid stuff. She works with my mom. So I said, I'm going to prove it with Brenda if it's possible. Then when that come back, now to be clear, the cat is still alive. Is that correct, Brenda?
Yes.
Okay, so the cat is still alive.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah,
it's the photo, the way the photo came out, because you said this was your, or do you want to say?
You can say whatever. Everything I've told you can say.
Well, no, I mean, I'm talking. Yeah, did you want to say who it was? I guess is what I was getting at.
It was my brother's cat.
And this was the last photo that was taken of him. So, and he recently left us. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
see,
you
that's
have no
the thing
idea,
about
Brenda,
it too.
did you?
What?
I said you had no idea, did you?
Oh no, I did not. I was over here thinking when you were telling me take 5 pictures of everything around you. I'm like, what the hell for?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I'll humor him. And I just started taking pictures. And then he's like, now wake up, Jack, tell him take a picture of you. I'm like, yeah, he's sleeping. That ain't happening. Okay, take a selfie. And I'm thinking, what is this weirdo doing now?
All right.
I do like my photos of ladies, so
I just went with it. I was like, okay, I'll humor him.
So real quick, I'll show you guys over here. You guys can see these 3 things over here that are all visible. See how it'll say visible?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll say visible. Now, when I hide it, it says hidden. Okay, so that's how you know what's in the picture and what's not. So the reason I'm showing you this is because this is the same picture on all these things, but see how I cut him out?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly where I can see him at? Because there is this chunk that comes around here.
Yep.
And so I do that so that I can actually build a portrait that you can see, because what I do after this is I have to blend everything together. So I have to make it to where you can see more of him or more of the cat. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only things that I ever do to a photo. It can totally be reproduced. So, okay, let me show you the other place that he's at now. We'll just leave that right there, and I'll pop this one in, which it could be the same one. It is. So this is all me doing little experiments to see how I'm going to be able to let you see it the best. It's, that's the beauty of it, because I can't fake the picture.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can truthfully show you every single move. I can't wait to do it live, because when you see this happen live and you're sitting right here with me and we can get 6 times, I can't even hand somebody a picture and be like, here he is 6 times in the photo. They're going like, what are you even talking about? How? I don't even know how. I don't know how. I can just show you what I can see, right? So
Kat says that she sees a big face on the white brick wall behind the chair in the picture.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
So do I.
As a cat says she sees a big face on the white brick wall behind the chair in the picture.
It's not the cat. It's a face behind the wall or on the wall.
Okay, so are you guys talking about right in here?
Where are you at?
Where are you talking about right here?
Move your mousey.
Can you see my mouse moving? Can you see it moving?
Okay,
Yeah.
Over. Right in there.
You guys talking about right here? This way?
So. No.
Right
Other
here?
side. Over more. Over towards where the top of my head,
This
my
way?
hair is, up right straight above my head.
Over here.
Yep.
So you're talking about in here?
Yep. If you
look, right here.
Yep. I see the same thing.
Now I'm going to show you that right there because you see that. Do you see the bigger version of it right here? There's the eye. There's the nose. There's the mouth. Same as there's the eye. There's the nose. There's the mouth.
Oh.
Yep.
There's just a bigger version here. See it?
Yep.
So let's go ahead and do it. You guys want to do it?
It's a cat over there on the right. Is that the cat on the right? I'm saying?
There's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out because I'm going to tell you right now. I don't even try to guess no more. I don't even try to guess no more. I just saw where the mouse was.
It's like I just do it.
So, Kat,
it
you're
blows
seeing
me
it
away
over here,
because I'm
maybe.
seeing it without you superimposing it now. You're training me.
I know. Yay!
You're not that easy to train, Glenn. Don't lie.
I'll be here all week.
Well, Ross
It
may
really
kick us
is,
off, but
once you start showing people where you can see, it automatically broadens their perspective of where they're looking now. Everybody wants to look super tiny. When I show you this huge picture that's now in the middle of your damn forehead that you can't escape seeing now, it makes you expand your vision. On the left between the chair and the plant. So she's talking about in here, I bet. Yeah, probably. Yeah. And see, that's what I love about being able to teach people is because once it starts, you guys all have to do what I have to do and see it all in every photo then, right?
Yeah.
I'll no longer be alone once I have people who are trying to do it too. And I've had
You'll never be
people who
alone.
were,
You will never
Yeah,
be alone.
right?
If you're around us, you'll never be alone.
right.
We
And,
bug
you
down
know, I
on
have
each other all hours of the
apprentices.
night.
I'd like to have apprentices. I had one girl who really took to it and she really, really did a good job. She was sending me and I'm like, okay, girl, because I didn't even see that. So, but you know, that's the way it is. If you follow the rules, you're going to find stuff that you don't just see initially. That's the whole thing about it. You're going to find stuff that you never even really. I can't see somebody in this picture 16 times.
Sure.
Like with my natural eye.
Yeah.
But when I start fitting faces in there and put the puzzle together, next thing you know, right, Donna Nova, right. Yeah, they're everywhere. Because that's just really the fact of the matter, because it's going to try to capture whoever's attention because Dina sees differently than Brenda sees, than Glenn sees, than I see, than Kat sees, than that's why I was trained to do all the portraits and just get it over with. I don't even argue anymore. If I see it, I just do it. I don't even care if I'm like, I don't want to do this. I've been on this for 16 If there's another one, I go ahead and do it because somebody somewhere may see that. And I'm like, oh, you mean here? And I already have it ready.
Right.
Because other people are able to see in the same kind of translucent in their own version over here that I see over here. So yeah, we can do this all night though. We can sit here and like, okay, what do you guys see? What do you guys see? What do you guys see? You know what I mean? Because it's really true. It's everywhere. And I think that's the thing that people really don't understand because it's hard enough to believe it's in there once. Right? You're like, okay, but how? And I'm like, I don't know, but here's what I see. So I'm not even a good explainer about it, really, truthfully. I just know to tell you what to do and what I can see. So, and that was another thing too I wanted to really try to emphasize on while we're here on this show is that I am literally the most unlikely candidate for this to have been, you know, blessed upon me. And it's only because I started, sorry, you guys, I look like
that's
time.
cool. I feel like I'm walking down a hallway.
And it moves, right? This is like them TikTok videos, right? You got all the
Glenn, you need to have
Hey, this is residual energy.
Well,
yeah. That's exactly how it works. It goes here, then here, then here, then here, then
Pretty
here.
cool.
Okay, I'm trying to get it off, but as you can see, my computer is being real slow. Okay, let me end my screen. Oh, look at it, you guys. It's harsh. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. So if you guys do want to do that with a picture, you know, we can definitely do that right now if you guys want to stay for that. Or we can come back because I can't promise you that it can get done in 5 minutes. Now, I could do portraits in 5 minutes. It's really no problem. but Spirit has trained me to be very precise. My mom used to always say, you don't have to be that picky. But really I did, because if I don't give you foolproof results, it's going to create doubt within people. And so I was the least likely candidate to ever, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the least likely, like I was always spiritual. I grew up with a Free Will Baptist preacher. I literally have Free Will Baptist blood running through me right now. And if you look at my Facebook page, you're going to be like, yep, she's a Christian. She's definitely a Christian.
That was me.
And it's okay. What, Brenda? What are you over there popping up?
We're just gonna kick Glenn around a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, because I know Ross is scheduling some things he's got going on behind the scenes. Let's schedule another show, and we don't necessarily have to do it on a paranormal, guys. Coming up here soon, we're going to have 2 nights open up because our other show will be ending for the season. So we can work it in there, and you have a way of getting it all to your people. And of course, everybody's on Facebook. Go to the Facebook group Paranormal Guyz with a Z. Join that group, and you'll see all 3 of our shows and all of our silliness. So yeah, join that, and that way. But let's do it that way, because I know Ross has got something going on behind the scenes. So
okay.
If you don't care, is that okay? Is that okay with you, Dina?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I try and keep it kind of democratic. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I was serious about the computer. If Ross would want to do that, I would be all. I mean, he could get it to his people, get it out to my people, and we'd be like, "Hey, we're going to be on the air until we get you, a computer."
Yeah.
Because really, that's really the truth. Because I do all this stuff for everybody, and I just need the equipment to be able to keep doing it. And it's not that I don't want to be a nomad for the rest of my life, but however long it takes me to be able to open this door to more people, I have to make that sacrifice, because I was given this thing. It's not even my choice. It's not even my choice to be able to not feel like doing it today. I have to do something towards it today, because I'm 52. I don't know how much longer I got left, and I got a lot of information that people don't understand yet.
Don't talk like that.
I would love to.
I'm fixing to be 57, okay? So
she's lying.
We got lots to do. We got lots to do.
Yes. And I just watched Tyler Henry. He did a podcast with I forget his name. It was just like 2 days ago, but that's what he was saying, is that he has a tumor on his brain, and he's already had it operated on once, but they couldn't get it all. So I'm sure you guys probably already heard that, but that's what he said, is realizing that, and he's young. So realizing that it's just all the more evident to us how much work we actually really still have to do while we're here. Yeah. And it's not a choice if you're going to be like, I'm just, not doing it anymore. I tried.
I have been through such horrible things. And things that I should have died. My heart stopped in the hospital 9 times in 24 hours. I was shocked. I had manual CPR, kept coming back. Wow. I am here for a reason.
It's to torture the hell out of me.
I am here for a reason. It is to torture Glenn. I mean, help him become a better person. If I have to beat it into it. But
that's it.
I probably.
And that's what we're all here. We're all just walking each other home.
Yep.
And you heard me earlier say that we were, that our normal guys, that one was para means beside in Latin, and one was normal. So one would be a believer, one wouldn't. But my other theory on this has been all throughout my show, and Brenda's been with me even before when I was with the other jerk. I mean, fella. Yeah. If you've got a story, I've got a mic, and I want to hear your story. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your background is. I'm not going to take any biases because of things you've done in your life, because of things you're going through. But if you got a story and you want to tell it, let's get it out there. And I think that's cool.
Because I wouldn't even be sitting on Glenn's podcast right now if he held it against you for your past. So thanks, Glenn. Thanks for the mic.
We love you. We love you.
Thanks for the love.
And I have a sneaking suspicion. We'll talk off the air if Nikki's interested, but I have a sneaking suspicion she's probably going to join on, and she'll probably end up being a misfit. So
I hope so. That'll be
She
fun.
likes her. She likes her after hours shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I really came in at. So this is why this is so great right now and so comfortable for me,
Just so
because
that
that's where I
everybody
came in.
knows, we actually throw parties after the show backstage.
Yeah.
We all toast together.
They all get naked for me. So
Glenn always has to get up every 5 minutes to go pee. I keep telling him
Walk
just
the
to carry a
dogs.
bottle in there, but he don't listen.
Well, if y'all keep your clothes on, wouldn't have to leave the room so many times. So
Well,
yes, the after hours wake up.
We gotta relax. Like, I can't sit here and say, let me take my shoes off and put my feet up. I only have one shoe, and it don't take but a second to flip it off, and I don't put my foot up because then I'd fall over sideways. So
well,
you're a monopod.
Glenn is waiting to see me fall out of my chair one day. I'll be
I will
having
hit
him
that
on here,
record
and I'll
button.
lean forward,
It will
and he'll
be
be
on
like, "Oh
TikTok.
God, don't fall out of your chair!" And he's sitting there waiting to freeze frame it.
It will be on TikTok.
Glenn said he's putting more on TikTok. Right?
It'll be on TikTok.
It would be on TikTok.
Just don't hit the dog. Just don't hit the dog.
No. Bobby's already got peed on my ass. I don't need that anymore.
I don't want to follow my dog. He'll start yelling at me in Russian, and I won't be able to understand him.
Rolf.
It's funny when I first got him.
You guys, I'm really a comedian too. You should
At
know
all.
that, so yeah.
We all listen to nothing. And I finally got a hold of the breeder, and she's like, he only knows Russian. Do you speak Russian to him? I'm like, no, I don't know Russian. She's like, well, I can teach you his commands in Russian. I said, nope, he's going to learn English. And
he's an American now, by God.
Good. Every now and then I have to use
That's her Texas blood in her.
I have to use a harsh no in Russian to get him to stop, but he does good.
Hey, Doug's just sitting there looking at you going, you go to sleep and I will.
Dude, he is asleep on my pillow right now. He wore himself out playing with the thing that blocks the door, the wind door.
He's gonna get you one little nibble at a time. So, Nikki, I'm going to start winding down here for a few minutes. Tell me, where can they find you? And do you got anything else you want to share with us?
I do. I have really exciting news, first of all, because I'm going to make an announcement that nobody even has heard yet. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm only going to have 5 spaces for affiliates. And so it's just an exchange with an affiliate. Am I still live?
You are still live. You're still live. We made you full screen because you're so beautiful.
Okay. Oh gosh. Aww. Well, this is big news, so it deserves a big screen.
All right.
So yeah, I am opening up 5 affiliate positions, and that's being announced here today. So it's open worldwide if you're interested in being an affiliate with me, which what that will mean is if you are a practitioner and you are a professional that has clients in your medium, a psychic, I would love to find 5 really good practitioners to be affiliates with me, and I will give you 2 soul portraits. So for 2 clients per week. So that would be 8 soul portraits I would do for you after you do your readings. And what I would like to do is give the person confirmation also of the reading that you did for them. Then you'll send them over to me, and we'll do the soul portraits for them. So it's going to be kind of like a double confirmation kind of thing going on. And it's really going to be exciting. And I really feel like it's going to be super powerful for people because, to hear, the things that somebody can tell you about your loved one that's across the veil that needs to get through to you. And then I can come in clutch and show you that they're right there with you. So it's super exciting. And that's 5. So I'll be doing 10 portraits a week. And it's free. I don't want anything back. I just want to find good, honest people who do good, honest mediumship and offer that to them. And they can choose any 2 people every week that they would want to, be able to provide that service for them for. And I'm doing this because I just want to get as many people as possible on this train, because it's something that even, Dina, Brenda, Glenn, I did all your portraits. Now you're going to go out here to the world and be like, hey, I got this really weird thing. Check this out. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it just opens up the possibility for more people to, people are dying every day, and it's a never-ending job is to try to help people in grief, because some people can't really handle it very well.
Yeah.
So I feel like if this could be something that could open up the door for somebody, maybe they'll reach out. Everybody gets a free portrait, initially. And if you come back to me and you don't have the money again, I'm still going to do your portrait for you, because that's what really is the bottom line, is that you need help. This is an available service to anybody who needs it. So I just really want to get that out there, that don't let money stop you. I'm only one person who does it right now. So there's going to be this really long list of, time frame. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It's running about 2-3 weeks right now. I still have about 30 or 40 portraits I got to finish up from the last post that I did 2 weeks ago. That was supposed to be 1 weekend. I had a lot of responses, so it's really taken off.
Nice.
And people are really seeing the validity, and people are stepping up to the plate and saying, just like they did for me tonight, calling in, hey, Nikki did this for me, Nikki showed me this, it was amazing. And that word of mouth is what's spreading it around, and it's helping more people, because now I have more people than ever who are like, okay, I'll try it. I don't believe it, but I'll try it. And then they get this phenomenal result, and it just opens that door for that. So as many people as I can, I'm willing to, work hard. I work hard.
Cool.
This isn't just a hobby any longer. For 3+ years, it's been a dedicated, and I thought, I didn't know I was going to be doing free portraits, right? But that's how important I have come to understand that this is super important for people, and it can help a lot of people. So, all right. So I wanted to mention that. The other thing I want to mention too is I have an ebook that you can read, and it has 6 tiny little chapters that explain how to get the best photos. That's all you have to do. Just understand what you're doing and be intentional, and you're going to get great photos. It's going to kind of explain to you how to do it on your own, to look at the bigger picture, not go so small, to look at the corners, not just where you're supposed to focus on. You want to look around what they want you to see. So it's an ebook. It's going to tell you, little tips and tricks. Love you, Donna Nova. That's my partner in crime right there, Donna Nova. Me, her, and Chris. That's my partners in crime. So anyways, the ebook, you can pick that up. You can go to seeyourangel.today. Now, if I could change one thing, I would just have it go straight to the Google Drive, because when I did the book and put it up, it's on, and now it's in several places. And all you got to do is put your email in. You put your email in, it's going to go right straight to the page. But so that's what it is until further notice. If you guys want to pick that up, that's all it is your email. And, it's a little tiny book. It's like 25 pages long. It's just a good idea to go ahead and get it. And if you really want to try it yourself and really try to learn how to see your loved one in your photo yourself, there's some explanation for you. So I got that. That's the ebook.
Cool.
And I mentioned that. The only other thing I want to mention is if anybody out here does want to schedule with me, I have a calendar schedule on my website, which is theangeladvocate.com. So you're just going to go to theangeladvocate.com, go to where it says portraits, and it'll say, click here to pick a time frame in a schedule. That will be paid. If you do it that way, you'll have to pay. That's how it works on the scheduling software. But if you look for me, you'll find me everywhere on social media. Search Soul Portraits by Spirit. I've recently been doing under the Angel Advocate. So trust me, if you want to find me, I'm on there. Nikki Golden. My name is, out there. You can find me if you want to find me. And if you really need to find me, then find me. Because this is about getting you relief to the grief, because it's really hard for me to see people suffer like they do. Like Chris was saying, it's like a motivation to make sure that you can put this good out here, because it's so much out here that's, not good for you after your loved one dies. So, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that this is an option for them when they need it. If they're having a hard day, ask, babe, I need you to come be in this photo, cry, take your pictures, get in contact with me, send them to me. I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. You don't have to ever feel that alone.
She will. And I think there's a reason I asked you to come on behind Chris. Now I understand what it was in your closing statement there.
Yeah.
Because he expressed how he saw the grief and the whatever you want to call it, ghost, demon, poltergeist, whatever it was. Yeah. And, that's the same thing you're saying is the family does go through grieving too. So this is good for both sides. So.
Yes. And that's a great point. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's why I'm the angel advocate, because people that have transitioned need your help. They need your help. If they, have, even just if they were great to you, they still need your help. They need to be able to have that connection too, and have people really come together and stop telling people they're with you in spirit and then telling them they're crazy. Yeah. Continuing bonds are real. Yeah. People do it every day. They get evidence. They get proof. Not only the pictures, I can give you proof. Dimes, feathers, strange songs. Spirits love to use music. Okay. When you sit there, most people will question, like, is that me? Why am I thinking that? Like, that's weird. Just don't question it. Just go with it. Pull out your camera and take some pictures real quick. That's it. Just do it. Just do it. Let's see. Because when you get those nudges,
I think I need to do that.
Nudges.
I think I need to do that with you, with my
That's
mother.
Right, Donna.
Because like I said, I don't have a problem hearing or seeing anybody else, but my mother, I do not get to see her, but I know she's here because I smell her body, her body spray. And, certain things will happen that I know that was my mother. My cat, my mother's ashes. My cat will lay on her box and then she'll get up and she'll be just sitting there. You know how when you pet a cat, how they arch their butt?
Yeah.
It's like somebody's petting her. And
now that sends all my little hairs sticking up. Take pictures.
I need to do that because I've not seen my mother since she passed away in 1998. But I know.
And let me tell you something too. There are people who submit their photos to me and they're missing their daughter. And so they give me their daughter's photos. I can find their daughter in their photo, but I can find somebody who's not in the photo, and then I'll go to their profile and be like, okay, who's this? Because I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm going to go look at your profile. If I see pictures I can see in your game, I'll go look. And those 7 public pictures, one of those pictures is going to be the one that I can see. And that's what I did the other day. And it was her dad. Her dad passed away in January. Her daughter was murdered 2 years ago, but her dad passed away in January. So she was there about her daughter, but her dad came through. Now that message is the mediumship. The mediumship is that daughter and dad are together. He's got her.
Right.
He's got her. She didn't even ask for that. And she doesn't even know it yet because I haven't had a chance to give it to her. So once she sees that, now this is how people take it. They're like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And then they're like, how? And then they just kind of put it to the side. If I give you this and I show it to you, if you keep trying, if you keep taking pictures, you're going to get phenomenal results because you're continuing bonds with your loved one. They will prove to you that they're really there beyond just a scent. That smells just like my dad. Guess what? Pull out your phone. Take some pictures. You're going to see your dad in them pictures, and then download my little ebook so that you guys can, have a good idea of when you're looking, how I explain to you when you're looking, how you do it. Because if I just sat here with my phone like this and was like, I don't really see anything. Half the time I don't see nothing until I look at that big screen or I look at this computer and then I hold this far away from me and I'm like, how did I not see that? Right. So yeah, I just want to tell you that you do the ebook. It'll show you a little bit, give you a little insight about how I see things. And it's, it's not like it was, a 50 not 5,000 page book. It's not, it was something where I just knew I need to get this information out to people because they can do it on their own. You guys just all sat here and did it. You guys all sat here and was like, I see this. I see this. Guess what? Go to Pixlr.com, get the photo of the person you think you see, and start trying to fit it in. You guys can do it too. It's no secret. It's only a secret because nobody's brought it out in the light yet. Now that I'm bringing out in the light, there's rules to it. If you follow the rules, there's an ebook you can follow to find them. If you still have trouble, message me. I'll definitely, Spirit's going to provide for you. If you're intentionally seeking, they'll provide.
That's great.
So, yeah, that was it. That was all my little announcements I had. Besides the fact that I'm going to throw this at you guys and then leave you, the regular cast. I'm going to stay after with you guys on this one because I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But I can also find, people that continue relationships, continuing bonds like I'm talking about. Some people choose to have children in that realm. I've literally found astral children. And so astralbaby.com is actually coming soon. But, I have a great friend, Elizabeth. She is a partner with me. She has a relationship across the veil with her wife, and they have had 2 children. I was the one that had to tell her about the second child because I could see him in there, and he was a newborn baby. It was a newborn baby I could see. And I had to tell her, and I'm like, okay. First of all, how do you tell somebody this, right? But I did, and what she told me back was her and Becky had already been discussing because they have Rosa. That's who I found initially was Rosa, and doing another picture for her. I'm like, okay, I see a baby here too. Wait a minute, I can't tell this chick, right? And she said that they had already been talking about it, her partner through the veil and her, that they were probably going to have another child. So that's when Sebastian came along. And, it's just wild. It's things that you guys have no idea that's actually going on in pictures. So there'll be lots of casts, lots of pods. We can talk about it. I have to get good on my pod language, but yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing more of you. So,
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Very much so.
So yeah, I really appreciate this space and the time and letting me just rant and keep going and be all passionate and stuff because it really is true. I don't know how else to tell everybody, but to give everybody results and tell you it's true.
And
let's all start working out.
This is why I got into this, I guess, because I like, besides for the fact I like to BS, this is good for it's good for the soul. I mean,
exactly what you said. If you have any inclination that you want to share some kind of a story, get in contact with Glenn, because let me tell you something. I did this completely scared today. I've never been on a live video in a pink wig ever in my life. It was a thought I had years ago, 6 years ago now, that I was going to, when I was doing makeup for a living, I was going to start wigging out Wednesday, right? And so look at Spirit. Done brought this back. Do it scared. Look how great this went tonight. And I was, nervous and everything. I got pink hair. I kept announcing it today because I'm like, I'm really going to have pink hair. Like, I got
that hair makes your eyes pop. Your blue eyes.
Aww.
It does. It's beautiful.
Okay, that's my secret. I actually have green eyes. Can you see them now?
They look blue.
They do look blue, yeah.
Yeah, they do look blue. It's only when even my mom was like, I love your blue eyes. And I'm like,
your mom didn't know your eyes.
DMV know what color
they appear blue.
Tell your mom she's fired. You're fired, Mom.
No, stop. She's listening, you guys. I shouldn't have said it.
Oh, that's all right. We get in trouble with our parents on here. Trust me. So
wait. We're only kidding. We thank you so much for bringing this wonderful child into this world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my God, Brenda! Stop, you guys.
Tonight's been a great show.
It has.
We set a record on Yerg's radio.
Nice.
We had as many as 25 listeners at one time on Yerg's radio. It was kind of rotating. We had 3 calls. And then I don't know, my counter over here has not worked in a little bit, but we've had multiple people on. We've had great activity in the chat.
Nice.
So it's been a great show. I think
has.
Chris and you were meant to be. I know he's got to work, so he's probably not listening or watching. Maybe he'll watch later. I think it was kind of meant to be to have you back him up on this. And of course, Nikki knows the backstory of how I met her. And it was kind of a freak thing. So it's kind of just the way it come to, because I asked her out a whim. I said, well, could you be ready Wednesday? I got an idea. So I didn't even tell Brenda or Dina, which I normally run everything by. I know it's my show, but I always try and run things by Brenda, Dina, Bobby, Todd, whomever, and get a consensus. So
this way, if anything ever happens to him and he disappears, we know where to go look. That's the truth.
He's probably one of these women. So.
Yeah.
Well, if it happens, I got you covered, so no worries, right?
Yeah.
I'll come back flipping them off. So, but
I tell my friend Don all the time, "Hey, I'm coming to live with you guys in your house across the Vale when I cross." They got it going on. Let me tell you.
I just had another idea. Leslie had contacted me. If I don't know, Dina, if you'll remember her, but she is the animal psychic.
Yes. I do remember.
And she had talked about doing a show. And I know you and I talked about animals coming through. And of course, we saw with Brenda's. Maybe we should get you two on the same show together. So.
Yeah, I do portraits. I do pet portraits.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I mean, she would come on and do her little psychic thing because she talks to the live ones. So, well, I think she talks to the dead ones too, doesn't she, Brenda?
Well, see, that's the beauty of it. We can mix it.
Yeah,
she can do that and get the connection.
Yeah, so I'm saying,
doing that.
Yeah,
I get amazed that she can do dogs and smaller, like horses. Horses are really easy. You constantly they've got the biggest brains and they are so open and so spirited. But dogs and cats, I think, are a little harder. But she amazes me that she can do them.
She got me with my cat. She'd never seen nothing but a picture of my cat, and she said, "I talked to your cat Squatch, and he thinks he's a dog." And I'm like, "Yeah, you got the right one." So he pushes the pit bull around, and he thinks he's a dog. He's told me that. So, but I'm gonna get in touch with her, and it might be a good contact for you too, as well, Nikki. So
like I said, that affiliate program is, I'm starting that now. This is what I waited for because I've had everything ready for a couple of weeks, and I was like, got that post on there. So I was like, this is when I'm announcing it. This is when it's starting. So I'll be making more posts about it and stuff tomorrow. So anybody who really has a legitimate, need like I do to assist people, that is a real medium, just go to my website, send me on the contact form because I definitely would love to have some good people on board with me because it's really that important out here for people.
Cool.
Double confirmation would be amazing.
Yeah. And some of these great psychics come on our show.
Yeah.
Let's have some of these great psychics come on our show. So I'd like that.
Yeah. Hey, if that's what you want to do, I know several. And I know several that have developed during this time that I've been doing what I've been doing, and I know how much work I've put in. I know how much work they put in, and they're phenomenal. They get great results from people.
Cool.
So I got my own little slew if you want them.
Cool.
Yeah, that would be great.
Bring your caravan.
Yeah.
I'll just add them to my girls. So
on that note, we may have to start a GoFundMe for me and for her because something just crawled underneath my laptop outside, and depending on what it might be, I could shoot my laptop.
We're gonna say live, ladies and gentlemen, this could be something really cool. We're gonna see what it looks like to blow up a computer with a 40 caliber. So,
buddy,
I don't know where it went. I seen it.
Oh my God, no!
It's in your other pan plate. So,
no, you're giving us the
before I take it back in the house.
You'll stay out there all night until Jack comes and gets it.
I tried. I don't know. It's
holding it down.
It's on the cooling pad.
Oh.
So
Oh, the spider's holding it down.
I don't. If it better not be a spider, it will get.
It
shot.
might be a camel.
Oh. All right. So we have another show called The Big Chat, which is about Big Brother. It's the CBS TV reality show. This season, they've went 100 days, and they're into, I think, 80 now, down to just about 7 candidates left in the house. And we're following that. The show ends November 9th. We do a show Monday night at 10:30 and Thursday night after the live TV eviction on CBS at 10:30 on our channel. So we do that. And of course, as you know, you found the Paranormal Guys. Please like, thumbs up, all that happy stuff. It makes a difference. It makes me smile. Join our group on Facebook. There's a lot of like-minded people there. And then we also on Saturdays. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this is an adult show, but we cut loose. And this is where we really have fun. We have JT, who is our resident ventriloquist, and his girlfriend. Come on, and they crack us up, and we bust balls with this mannequin.
And no, so his dummy is not his girlfriend.
No.
She's much nicer than Shelton. Shelton is an arrogant little dummy. So we have fun. That's on Saturday night. That is also live on Yerg's Radio. So make sure you download the app Live 365. Find Yerg's Radio, YERGZ. And go ahead and follow and like his channel. There's great shows on there. Our Two Dads or My Two Dads. I know, Corey, I'm sorry. I butcher it every week. Got to get good at this.
I think it's Your Two Dads, isn't it?
Yeah, Your Two Dads. He has some great advice for new fathers. Yeah. And it's not anything odd to it. He's got just a great show, and there's actually 3 of them, which is what's funny. I was like, you dumbasses can't count. There's 3 and then I know Bobby didn't get a chance to pitch his stuff. BobbyDizzle.com is where you can find him. He does a lot of ghost, paranormal, and Bigfoot stuff. In fact, I'm going to turn over the radio station and the YouTube channel to Todd next week, and me and Bobby are going to be out in the woods. So that could be interesting. Maybe one of us will return. Maybe both. Who knows? Mark, Bigfoot may get us. Taking extra bacon to put in his back pocket. So we're gonna don't tell him.
Idiot.
So go over to BobbyDizzle.com and like his stuff. He has a YouTube channel as well. Token Muddle, one of our also brother podcasters, Todd, comes on Saturday nights and helps me run the Misfits and keep them in line. Token Muddle is a great podcast. Make sure to check them out. They're on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, pretty much everywhere you can find them. So find them. And as for us, we are on this will probably, it's after midnight, so it might not be turned over till the day after, but this will be put on Spotify. I don't know, Amazon, Apple, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I try and get everywhere. And of course, this will always be on YouTube, backed up. And now that we're partnered with Yerg's Radio, he's got this really cool thing where he's going to run us overnights, and he's going to give us a time slot in the afternoon in addition to our live shows. So we've got a lot of things going on. You're going to start seeing me soon on other formats and other things, which is kind of exciting. I'll tell you more when she allows me to. But yeah, things are happening. Things are changing. And I was dead serious. Nikki, if you want to come back, or if you think you can get the fandom to support you and I can get Ross to buy into it, we'll do a telethon for you.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah, I'm down for that. I thought he was going to talk about portraits. I'm like, oh, he's talking about the computer thing.
We want to do that because we want to get your computer because I have this feeling if we broke a record tonight and I didn't really advertise you, what's going to happen when I really advertise you?
Yeah.
So
and when we do portraits on here, when I really do portraits on here, people actually see it happen as it happens.
Yeah.
It's gonna be off the chain.
I can't guarantee that if we do that little telethon that we're up all night long and we don't get stupid, because that happens to be our format.
Yeah.
We will just talk about the craziest shit people ever seen in their life.
Well, at some point in time, I think Jerry Lewis even gets a little wacky, and we'll draw pictures on Dina's face when she falls asleep and email them to her for fun. So
no, I'm gonna have sleep that day. Okay,
that's a good one.
But we love it. She's so cute when she just slumps over. I like when we're still here when she wakes
They think
up.
I'm dead. I look like I'm dead. I'm just like,
yeah. And she'll wake up and we're like, "Good morning, sunshine."
I know. I'm
She's
like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, that's 2 hours. So
I think
we're a pretty tight knit little group.
I do.
So yeah, we're a pretty tight knit little group. So
Yeah.
I got my Charlie's Angels here. So, but yeah, let's get that going. And until then, next week. Next week's show. I was just gonna say this on the Paranormal Guys, same time, same bat channel. Philip Carter. He is a sci-fi comedian and paranormal expert. So he's going to come a comedian. I don't know if that's the thing. He's a funny medium. No, he's a comedian, and he's going to come on, and he's got some great stuff for us. So look forward to that. And Dina, you got anything going on? I know you got something going on, Dina. Come on, tell us.
Pull my ear hole out. Yes. Okay, you mentioned the show tomorrow night.
Yep.
Misfits. Yes, next week I am starting to co-host with Ross on his afternoon podcast.
Live show,
whatever. I don't even know what it is.
Oh Lord, it's from 5 until 6. So.
Yeah, 5 until 6
Eastern. So, yeah, make sure to give Ross a good like and thumbs up too. He's done a lot for this show, and we appreciate everything. And he hasn't even paid me anything. He's to say this stuff. I was going to start playing music.
You always start talking when I'm not finished.
Well, sometimes I think you're finished because you look sleepy. So
I'm not going to fall asleep. Well, I can fall asleep.
Yeah, don't say you won't. Yeah, don't say you won't.
I said I have before, but damn. Just go ahead.
Made her lose it.
I'm sorry, Dina.
Okay.
It's my fault.
No, you did it.
You can find Dina on Ross's show 5 until 6.
Yeah.
And hold on, I gotta play my little sound effect. I haven't done that this time. So
find Dina right here on her couch.
A lot of times, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast and around the world, you're listening to the Sport Cat Show.
That's right. It's trademarked. So until next week,
Nikki.
It was very fun.
Thank y'all for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thanks all, Nikki.
I was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried when you guys were talking about how much fun it was with Chris. And even the dude that left, Bobby, he was like, that was a great episode. And I'm like,
Bobby was sleepy.
And
I'm so sorry. I kept falling asleep. I'm just so tired.
That's all right.
Now I'm awake
Spirit
after the coffee.
It's all good.
All right, you guys. So, like I said, one last time, I'm sorry. SeeYourAngel.today. And then theangeladvocate.com. But SeeYourAngel.today. Not .com, .today.
Today.
There you go. Find out all about it. Thanks, guys.
Like, follow, subscribe, find us on Facebook. Send me a friend request. If you're a medium, we'll get you on the show. And until next week, guys and gals, it's been a great show. I appreciate everybody for showing up and supporting us. You don't know what it means to us. So hopefully you can come check out some of our other crazy shows. So we look forward to it. Until then, bye now.
Bye.